Don't forget to hit up that tailgate being sponsored by the freshman class. Concessions are being sponsored by After Prom.
Probably a little sparser crowd because everybody has commitments uptown and everything. 52 kids of our high school kids are in Swedish Dancers, so it's just a crazy week and a weekend, but we got football play.
We do, and hopefully the skies look like we're going to get a full game in this week, which will be nice. We got the band down there playing under the direction of Adam Keller. We've got, like you said, it's not a tremendous crowd night tonight, but a spirited crowd. It is Hillingsfest week. Just a great night for football again. We talked all this year about how great some of the nights have been. This is one of those. It's cool. It's not very windy. And it should lead to a great night of football here.
It's a perfect night for football. The 5-1 Smoky Valley Vikings are hosting the 2-4 Rock Creek, but don't take them lightly because they've lost to Wamego. They lost to Silver Lake. They lost to Riley County. Those are three great football programs that have been very good programs for years and years. They beat Rossville and they beat Wabaunsee. So this team isn't a poor team with a 2-4 record. They're capable of playing good football.
Well, I think you and I said the same thing last year when we went to Rock Creek and sat there on that beautiful evening then, and it came down to the last 9.2 seconds before the Vikings stuck in the game-winning score, and there were some really big plays that night and some really good offense on our behalf. But you're right, they play some very solid schools from up a little further northeast, and it's just a completely different look than what we're used to seeing as far as the type of athlete sometimes that Rock Creek has. So it's definitely going to present us some challenges this evening.
And you've had a little bit of experience with them playing against them in the state tournament, so you know how good of athletes they can have in their school.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, no question about that.
They're solid players, and like I said, they play just a little different type of schedule than what we do, and that's not saying anything bad about our schedule, because like Coach Lambert has said numerous times, our guys here, our league is very solid top to bottom, and we have a lot of teams in our league that vie for a state title. Pratt obviously last year, Heston is very good, Halstead this year has been good. There's a lot of teams on our schedule that are good, but like you said, some different challenges tonight from a team that might even do some things that are a little bit, of a wrinkle from what we're used to seeing, and I think we saw that last year when we did give up some of those big plays. One, I think, was a kickoff return for a touchdown or punt return.
And a big pass play.
And then a little pass play there that looked like we could have had wrapped up, but it was a unique play, and they were able to score off of that. So once they get their athleticism out there, they really do become a difficult team to be able to play.
No question about that. They lost last week in a full game, 26-21 to St. Mary's, so they played a full game. Well, the Vikings only played one quarter. We won the toss, took the ball, and played strong and scored 3 touchdowns. The first was a pass. Brett Heichman was 2 for 2 passing, and Kyle Anderson led the Vikings in rushing with only 59 yards, but we had a couple of short fields because our defensive backs intercepted a couple of passes, set us up. So they were the offense was 2 for 2 in passing, and the defense was had 2 picks. So that was a great, complete one-quarter game.
Yeah, it was a dominant first quarter. I mean, I think if that game continues, we continue to see a lot more of that. If you take everything times 4 there, you've got Kyle Anderson possibly finished with 240 yards. But, of course, the way the game was going, it seemed like the Vikings had things well under control, especially including that last interception by Carson Windholtz that really kind of sealed up that first quarter. And the only drive Lions really had for the day, the only sustained drive of that entire first quarter, otherwise completely dominated by Smoky Valley.
We have an interview coming up with Coach Lambert. We'll take our first time out. When we come back, you'll hear from Coach Lambert. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football on 95.5 The Rock.
It's tough out there. Trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one, it means cutting costs, and one of the best places to start is at the State Farm office of Anthony Hopkins in Ellsworth, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve. Sometimes those can be up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins a call today, because being there to help keep more money in your pocket is why he's there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
People's Bank & Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank & Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Linsboard Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
Improve your yield with A-Series soybeans from DuPont Pioneer. Available through Phelps Seed, your hometown Pioneer seed specialist. Using accelerated yield technology, A-Series beans deliver 2.3 more bushels per acre than the competition. Phelps Seed and Pioneer, with you from the word go.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
The Vikings play here.
And welcome back to more Viking pregame. Don Bingson along with Coach Tim Lambert as you get ready to start the cliche second season with the district. Now it all comes down to continuing on in postseason. But looking back on Friday, a one-quarter 22-0 game, a lot of satisfaction because it's a win, but didn't get a lot of playing time for anybody.
Yeah, it's just an odd situation to be in where you've you only played a quarter and you don't have a whole lot of film to watch and so it's just different. You're kind of out of your routine, but it was better than the alternative of having to go back. I think on Saturday and playing the rest of the game, and so we were pleased with how it all turned out.
You got your offense rolling quickly. You scored early on a pass. You got a couple of Brett completed 2 passes to his wide receiver. Their quarterback completed 2 passes to your defensive backs. That had to make you happy.
Well, our kids, both of them made really good plays on the ball and on the interceptions. Zach had the first one, and he jumped a slant route and really did a good job. And then right before the quarter ended, Carson Winholtz had an interception in the end zone, and we got it back out at the 20, and that was a real good play on his part, kind of over the head, and so that was exciting. And it's I think our defensive backs at times look like they're really doing a good job, and we're getting a lot more confidence back there, and you just hope that continues and you play with confidence.
Well, you have to play confidently, and now you got a team that's coming in here. You went to their place last year and won the game on 9 seconds left with a Riley Odell run, but you had some gutty plays during the game. You had some ugly turnovers during the game. It was just one of those games that happy to win.
Yeah, we turned the ball over last year when we were down at Rock Creek. One of the things we didn't talk about was we had a bunch of penalties too in that game, and so it was really an ugly game on our part, and really Rock Creek had every opportunity to win it, and we were just able to win it on almost the last play of the game. So it was it was exciting and all that, but we need to play better this year.
Tell me a little bit about them. Do they run spread? Are they run pass? What do they do?
Well, that's something that in this day and age you just see all kinds of different. You go from spread to double tights, and so we've been playing a spread team for 3 weeks, and now Rock Creek's going to be double tights probably 99% of the time with full house backfield. Nobody split. They're going to try to run downhill at you, then they're going to try to get you to suck inside, then they're going to try to get outside on a sweep or a counter play, and but they do what they do really well, and so you have to be really disciplined against them.
But the counter to that is that we're really good at what we do, and maybe we can occupy some time on the clock again.
Yeah, offensively, keep the ball away from their offense and grind it out a little bit. We have some guys that'll run pretty hard, and we just need to win the turnover battle and not put the ball on the ground. And I think it really doesn't. I think our guys have become a lot more mature, and even if we do turn the ball over, I think that we need to have enough trust and faith in each other that we're still going to find a way to get it done. And bad things are going to happen in football games, and how you react to those things, positively or negative, really have a huge impact on the outcome of football games. So I think we're getting better at that, and our confidence level's rising, and we just need to keep playing.
Well, it will be. How about a couple of Anderson Body Shop keys to victory?
Well, I I think we've already kind of touched on things that we usually look at, but turnovers are huge in high school football, well, any kind of football. But penalties, I think keeping the ball away from them when we have the ball, getting first downs, running the clock, making sure that we play our style of football, especially when we have it. I'm pretty confident that we'll play hard, and I think if we play hard, don't turn the ball over, win the turnover game, and make first downs on offense, I think we have a real good shot of winning the game.
Sounds like a plan, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Coach Tim Lambert of the Vikings will be back with more pregame right after this.
It's tough out there. Trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one, it means cutting costs, and one of the best places to start is at the State Farm office of Anthony Hopkins in Ellsworth, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve. Sometimes those can be up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins a call today, because being there to help keep more money in your pocket is why he's there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins, 785-472-4426 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas invites you to visit their website at odcnck.com. Once there, you can look over the products that Overhead Door offers for commercial and residential installation and repair. Overhead Door Company services all of North Central Kansas.
Ace your next harvest with A-Series beans from Phelps Seed, your hometown Pioneer seed specialist, providing Pioneer wheat, corn, soybean, sunflower, and milo seed, along with the crop protection chemicals you need. Grow with the winner. Phelps Seed, with you from the word go.
Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field, home of the Bethany College Swedes and the Smoky Valley Vikings. And Smoky Valley has their homecoming football. Bethany College has their homecoming football tomorrow afternoon against Sterling. So that'll be a big game here with a lot of impacts in the league standings, as the Swedes are one loss now, and Tabor, I believe, is the only team in the KCAC with a loss. Got a time for some starting lineups quickly, Doug, but let's talk about the folk dancers. They have a big meal coming up tomorrow.
Yep, Lindsborg Swedish folk dancers tomorrow are going to present a Swedish twist on an American classic here during Hillingsfest. It'll be held at the Evangelical Covenant Church, 102 South Washington. That's 1 block west of Main and Lincoln. It'll be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it will be $10 a plate. They're going to have pulled pork with Swedish lingonberry barbecue sauce, dill potatoes, Swedish coleslaw, almond cake with lingonberries and cream, as well as coffee, lemonade, tea, and water. Again, that's 11 to 2, sponsored by the Lindsborg Swedish folk dancers at the Evangelical Covenant Church, 102 South Washington. Offensive starters tonight for Rock Creek. Messed myself up. At quarterback tonight, we believe it's Taylor Vetter, the sophomore. At tailback, Bryant Golden, number 8, also a sophomore. At slot back, number 35, Trey Martin. He is a sophomore. At fullback, number 44, Nate Williams, Jr. At tight end, they usually run like a 2 tight end type of lineup. Cameron Turnbull, he is a junior tight end. Jacob Caffrey, also a junior tight end. At center, Joe Goodmiller. Left guard and right guard, we have 2 juniors, Evan Hancock, Patrick Geyer. And at the left and right tackle, Josh Feldkamp and Dull Owery, sorry. For us, starting on defense tonight, we, of course, have our front four there. Jacob Adams, Conrad Peterson, Ethan Wampler, and Kai Shugren, who have done a fantastic job. At our linebacker spots, Kyle Anderson and Riley Odell, as well as Blake Hebel. At our corners, Lane Schrog and Carson Windholtz, who had the interception last week, as well as at safety, Zach Abel, who also had a pick. And then Tim Lambert wrapping things up for us in the defensive backfield. And it's about time for football right here.
It's getting real close with Rock Creek in their white tops, black pants, black helmets. Vikings just the opposite, white pants, black tops, and black helmets. So it's a black and white against the black and white. The Vikings have a little orange in theirs. Tim Lambert and Zion Thomas are deep for the Vikings. Looks like number 8 for the Rock Creek Mustangs has the ball, or has the tee. So Bryant Golden will be the kicker as the refereeing crew gets everybody set. It's a beautiful night. Again, it is Svensk Hillningsfest going on uptown. There's a smorgasbord going on tonight at college. There's jazz at the J.O. going on, I believe, tomorrow night. No, tonight is at jazz at the J.O., and then there's a college, Bethany College music department fundraiser tomorrow night. So lots of...
I think Bethany was doing alumni basketball tonight as well.
That's right, yeah. As he approaches the ball, high end over end kick. It's going to be taken by Lambert at the 15-yard line. Drops it momentarily and falls on it. I believe he recovered, but I think he took his eyes off of the ball and looked upfield to see where he needed to go. And he got no return on it. And the Vikings will be set up 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. So Rock Creek won the toss and deferred. So the Vikings started off on offense tonight. And again, we mentioned our defensive starters, but our offensive lineman, headed by John Burks at center, has just done an outstanding job. We'll go I formation with Thomas and Abel, the 2 wide receivers, wide each way. I formation behind Heichman. Here comes Kyle Anderson trying the right side. He's got a little bit of room, sneaking across the 30 up to the 32-yard line. So a pickup of about 8 yards by Kyle Anderson. Strong, hard running by the senior running back. And he'll spot it at the 31, so it'll be a 7-yard gain. 2nd down and 7. Just underway here. Beautiful, beautiful night for football. Winholtz and Lambert checking in for the Vikings. Lambert goes wide to the far side. The Vikings run wishbone so much, but tonight they're coming out I formation. Heichman under center, looking over the defense. Here comes Court Elliott running hard up the middle, and he looks like he's got first down yardage. No, they say it's going to be just short, inches short of the first down.
Yeah, we open up that first play, of course, going around left end there, being led over there, I believe, by, let's see, that would be Peterson and Wampler on that side, I think, and pick up 7, and then right up the gut. It looks like they're really pinching that middle tight with their backers there and really watching out for that fullback dive, because you and I talked about their athletes, maybe hoping they can contain our athletes on the outside.
Now they go back to wishbone formation. Heichman under center. Here comes running forward hard, and he's got the first down as Kyle Anderson. But the Viking front 5 are doing their job. They go with a 3-man front, Rock Creek, and their big guy in the middle, number 72, is a big, we don't have their weights, but he's a big boy right in the nose tackle. And then they drop a couple linebackers once in a while into some gaps, so then it looks like a 5-man front. So I think they're trying to confuse the Vikings.
Very similar to what Larned did to us. You might be thinking that maybe they're trying some of that same scheme here, but they really have them split out wide here, though.
Wishbone formation, first down Vikings. They get their first down. Here's a toss coming this side with Lambert, trying to find a little crease, but boy, Rock Creek's defense, led by big number 72 from his nose tackle position, getting all the way up to the line of scrimmage here on the outside numbers. He comes up a little limping, but Lambert's going to get stopped for no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
It was interesting that time. 72 did not go down into a stance. They only had 2 of their linemen actually down in a 3-point stance. He just kind of played that middle and hit the gap as soon as he saw which direction the ball was going into. So they're definitely trying some unique things against us.
Yeah, it's like they got 6 linebackers and 2 down linemen. You're right, exactly. Wishbone formation again. Heichman's going to take it. He's going to throw the ball wide open as Jacob Adams. And I believe he caught it. They are saying it's a catch by Jacob Adams all the way up across midfield down to the 46-yard line. So a big pickup on that play down to the Rock Creek 46. I thought Kyle was kind of looking for the ball. I don't know if it was an option pass or not, but I wondered if there was some confusion in the backfield, but maybe just playing out that fake a little bit more. 1st and 10, Smoky Valley. Here comes Court Elliott running hard up the middle. No, it's Kyle Anderson on the outside. Kyle gets across the 45 down to the 44-yard line, so pickup of a yard by Kyle. Court Elliott looked like he had the ball. They do some good faking up in the middle there. Oh, we got a little visitor, huh?
Got a little wasp in here joining us, don't we? See if I can make it mad.
Well, I think you got him. It's the second one. I killed one before you got here. The wasp family visiting tonight, so we won't put up with much of that. So 2nd down and 9 for the Vikings. 8:45 left to go, first quarter. Vikings' first drive, no score yet. Here comes Court Elliott pounding hard up the middle. He's still pounding hard. He gets down to the 34-yard line for a first down. Great high knee running by Court Elliott. He just kept churning with those knees running high.
Hit the hole really hard again. That's, for a brief second, you caught it right away. I didn't. I thought maybe Brett kept it, but he hit the hole very hard and then just dragged players down with him until he got to about the 34, between the 34 and 35 for a 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Keeping this drive alive. They started back at the 24-yard line. Here comes a second look at confusion. Now Kyle Anderson's going to try to get outside, but he gets tripped up. Nice tackle over there on the side by the Rock Creek defense. Again, they got a lot of their small numbers as we were running off the numbers. They only have 170 number and a 150 number in their defensive alignment, so they got a lot of little quick guys. And so far, it's troubling the Vikings a little bit, but they've kept this drive alive, 2nd down and 9.
But when you watch them the way they are doing it by putting just 3 guys up, it's kind of like what we did last 2 weeks ago when we played. And they really have everybody else just reading the play, spreading them out across the back area there and being able to stretch the play out.
Wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. He's going to turn and hand it off to Lambert. Lambert's got a seam. He's going to try to kick it outside, and he gets tangled up as he was trying to cut it back up the middle to the left side. He gets across the 30 down to the 27-yard line, or 28. So he'll pick up about 6 on the play, 3rd down and a long 3 for the Vikings. Great vision by Lambert as he tiptoed through there, and he just one shoestring tackle away from breaking that to the outside.
We keep harping on it a little bit, but it's really important for our linemen to know who they have to block on that second level. That time we did a great job picking out the most difficult guys to get and really freed him up.
I formation. Here comes Elliott again, trying to run hard. He's going to be short of the 1st down. He gets to the 25-yard line, but he has to get just short of the 24. So it's going to be 4th down and 1. 4th down and probably the length of the football. The nose of the football is right on the 25-yard line, and it has to get the nose of the football. If the back end of the football touches the 25-yard line, it's a 1st down. So first big 4th down for the Vikings here in this first quarter.
I'm going to guess Wishbone. What do you think?
I'm going to guess Wishbone. I'm going to guess. And Riley Odell, I don't know. I saw him out there warming up, but Court Elliott has gone all the way at fullback tonight. Here comes the play. Here comes Anderson. He's got more than enough yardage for 1st down. The big number 71 is making a lot of tackles down there. Or 72, excuse me. And also aided by number 22 on that tackle. Henning. So 1st down, Smoky Valley. That was the first 4th down they've run. This have run almost half of the quarter off on this first possession. No score, but the Vikings just about to the next Tech Wireless red zone. I formation this time behind Heitschmidt. Carson Winholtz and Zion Thomas, the wide receivers each way. Here comes Court Elliott banging in the middle. He'll get into the next Tech Wireless red zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to just being a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. 2nd down and 7, we'll call it. 5:35 to go and counting. What a great long drive this has been. But early in the year, we weren't finishing drives. We need to definitely finish this drive.
Yeah, we're definitely working hard at wearing them out. And we've mixed up the plays so nicely. We've already gotten 1 pass play here in the first drive. It usually comes about the 2nd or 3rd before we see that.
Here comes the handoff to Anderson. He's got some seam. He's got the 1st down yardage and more down to the 10-yard line. He's right outside of the 10. It looks like they're going to spot it at the 11. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 11, but that time Kyle just picked his way, and great maintaining their blocks into there was the front line, so he had plenty of room to pick as it was kind of hat on hat there for the lineman picking up one-on-one blocking.
And when you don't have all those guys up on the line, it's a lot easier to find the holes if we can get to that second wave, which we're doing such a great job of right now.
I formation behind Heitschmidt, turn and hand it off to Elliott. Elliott pounds in the middle. He'll get inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line, so pick up about 3. As number 44, the linebacker, fullback for Rock Creek, Williams, comes up hobbling just a little bit.
Yeah, I think Tucker Garrett's been in there a lot too. Number 7 for them. He continues to get in there and make some tackles. I think I've had him a part of the last 3 of those tackles. So definitely some guys getting to the play, but usually about 3 or 4 yards down the field, and we'll handle that all night.
Wishbone formation. Lambert and Anderson are the tailbacks. Court Elliott, the fullback. Heitschmidt under center, turns and hands it off to Anderson. He's trying the seam. He's got some room. Touchdown! Kyle Anderson from the 8-yard line takes it in for the Vikings. And with 4:08, the Vikings go on top 6-0.
Yeah, beautiful drive by the Vikings. 15 plays, 76 yards. That is fantastic. So a 15-play drive for us, being able to take the ball down the field and be able to wrap it up by getting Kyle into the end zone off the left side. And, of course, the Vikings here will line up to go for 2, but exactly the way you'd want to start the game if you're Smoky Valley tonight. A big, long drive all the way down to the 4:08 mark. You finish it like you just talked about needing to finish, and a big 2-point conversion here to come.
Wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. Turns and hands it off to Elliott. Elliott's going to be held. No, he's in. Great extra push by Kyle Anderson hitting the back of the pile, and the 2-point conversion is good. And with 4:08 left to go in the first quarter, Smoky Valley 8, Rock Creek yet to have the ball. Back right after this.
Boyd Accounting provides professional accounting services in the Lindsborg area. Call them today at 227-2589 for all your accounting needs. Wishing the best of luck to the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
Welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field. We've got a new sponsor.
Yeah, First Bank Kansas is a proud sponsor of Smoky Valley football. First Bank Kansas is your community-oriented, customer-focused bank where banking is made personal with locations in Lindsborg, Salina, and McPherson. So great to have First Bank on board with us. They do a lot of great things for here in our community as well as our school. So great to have them on board, and great to be up 8-0 to start this game as well.
I believe it's number 4 back there. No, number 1. It's their starting quarterback, if we think that's right. We're not positive, but Vetter is back there about the 7-yard line. Raleigh Wilson to kick it off for the Vikings. High end over end kick going to be taken by one of the up-backs at the 18-20. Try to go up the middle, now kicking it to the far side. Now back to the middle, and at the 30-yard line, he'll be wrapped up for the tackle. It looks like they're going to spot it at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, Rock Creek Mustangs. And they've got some big old boys on their offensive line, number 65 and 70. They look like they go about 6'2" and about 280 or 290. And they have their spacings. They are almost touching on their shoulder pad to shoulder pad. So they are very tight spacings, double tight end, and a flanker to the right, fullback right behind the center, and the quarterback in the shotgun formation. They're going to hand it off to number 8. No, number 1, Vetter, has it himself up the middle for 5 yards up to the 35-yard line. It's a little deceptive in that backfield, and Vetter is the starting quarterback.
And it looks like it's going to be a no huddle for them as well. They really work hard here it's almost a read offense. It's almost that read option. He's going to read from that backfield every time and decide whether to get it. And I wouldn't be surprised for maybe a quick snap to the fullback out of this lineup as well.
Absolutely. 6-yard gain on that play. Vetter's going to keep it again. He's going to be wrapped up. Good tackle in there by who is the Viking laying on his back there. Now getting up, it is Conrad Peterson on the tackle.
To put it in perspective for them this year, it looks like Vetter has carried the ball 88 times for 647 yards. And Ringering, number 15, 124 carries for 625. But we didn't see him. Is that him in the backfield, number 15, or is that 35?
I think it is 15. It is 15.
So it's those two guys that really make their offense happen.
3rd down, Rock Creek. They're going to keep it. Vetter's got it himself. He's reading, and he's got the 1st down up to the 40-yard line. So it's a zone read all the way, and he just at the last minute takes it and keeps it and found a little seam, and he got the ball across the 40, so they get a 1st down on their first possession. 2:54 to go, first quarter. Vikings took it all the way on 15 plays and 76 yards and punched it in for an 8-0 lead. Boy, they're tight spacing there. You can't see anything. Now in motion to the other side. Here goes number 8 around the far side. Great effort by the Vikings to stop that play. A flag is out. It's a shifting penalty. We might decline that. We'll see what they do here. The play is actually about a half a yard loss on the play. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 or 1st down and 15.
Looks like Coach Lambert would like to move them back. And I think the way they picked up yardage on that first drive and only really picked up 10 and 3 downs, the hope is that maybe that same thing will happen here.
So 1st and 15 now for the Rock Creek Mustangs. First penalty of the game. That was impressive of the Vikings to run that first series without a single penalty. So 1st and 15, Rock Creek Mustangs. In that shotgun pistol type formation is the quarterback better. He's going to keep it this time. He's got a seam, and he gets the penalty yards back +1. So it's 2nd down and 9. So in essence, it was the wrong thing to set him back. So now it's 2nd down and 9 instead of 2nd down and 11. But that's okay. That's the chances you take. You depend on your defense to get a stop for you. And we mentioned the defensive starters. Riley Odell is in there at linebacker, so he is playing, just not on offense tonight. Vetter's going to keep it himself and going to be stopped this time. Great read by Kai Shugren and Riley Odell, among others, on the tackle.
And the Vikings are back to their standard 3 or 4-3 here, it looks like. And again, against this running offense, there's a lot of people, including the corners. Since you mentioned they really don't split anybody out wide, our corners are coming really in tight, almost to the hashes, to help and watch that. You know, again, we don't know how often they pass the ball. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it certainly would free that up. We're going to have to make sure we pay attention to that as time goes on.
3rd down and long. Vetter back to pass, rolling to the far side, still rolling. Going to throw it down the middle, wobbling all over the place. And uncatchable. Kyle Anderson all over the back of the one receiver. There was a lot of contact between them, but I think they were both kind of going down together. So it's 4th down and long. I would expect them to punt in Viking territory. They're at the 42-yard line. We don't know who their punter is, but we may just find out here momentarily.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell. The way that ball came out, it almost looked like it might have been tipped. But if it was not
a spiral, right?
If it was tipped, then they'd contact down the field. Really wouldn't matter. So looks like number 15 to kick.
Punter is 15. They got a couple of quick guys out to the side.
Or number 35 to punt.
15. Oh, you're right. 30. You get a fake. It is a fake punt. He's over on the side. He's trying to get to the 1st down yardage. Did he make it? Can't tell. Nobody really right there. And if it made it to the 50, it's short. If it made it across the 50, it's a 1st down.
That was an interesting play there. Number 35 back there for them, Trey Martin, and he just takes it and goes.
He did.
And Kyle Anderson was in pursuit the entire time, but he makes it just enough to pick up the 1st down.
Well, that's a gutsy call by Rock Creek's Mike Beam. He's the head coach, and he knows how valuable these possessions are, and that in their own territory, not deep in their own territory, but the 40-yard line. That's a gutsy call, and it paid dividends, and he only got it by less than the length of the football. Vetter's going to keep it himself. He's going to be stopped for no gain on the play. But that is rolling the dice big time when you go for it on a 4th down punt. And it's 4th and 10, and you get it less than the length of the football. That's
like you said, gutsy call considering it was on your own 42, and he only made it to the 50 and didn't make it by much, and that would have given the Vikings a really short field.
It's a 2nd down and 10 for the Mustangs. So it's a reverse of 35. That punter is trying to get to the outside. Now he cuts it back up the middle. He's down to the 45-yard line. So a pickup of about 5. It's going to be 3rd and 5. May or may not get another play in before the end of the first quarter. It's been a quick quarter with both teams throwing only a couple of passes. The Vikings completed theirs. Rock Creek's fell incomplete. They will get this snap off before the end of the quarter. Got another guy at quarterback. Number 2 now is in there at quarterback. He's dropping back to pass, and now stoppage of play. That'll be motion on the Rock Creek Indians. So they switch quarterbacks. DeWeese is in there now at quarterback. He's a senior.
And the interesting thing is they have not taken, that last snap on that little counter reverse actually went to DeWeese and then was given to Vetter, who then delivered the ball to Martin. So they really moved things around a lot in the backfield, and Vetter had moved over to the slot position there as well. So they're going to move things around and make it difficult for us throughout the evening.
And they're going to run the clock out, so that is the end of the quarter. Our Vikings lead at 8-0. Back with quarter number 2 right after this.
People's Bank and Trust is proud to support the Lindsborg community and the athletes at Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College. I'm Ryan Biegert, branch manager at the Lindsborg location for People's Bank and Trust, a proud native of Lindsborg, and I'm ready to be your banker. People's Bank and Trust, meeting the needs of our community and always improving the way we do business. Located at 201 South Main in Lindsborg, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Vikes and go Swedes.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where tonight the Vikings' first game in the district, 3 games of district. They got Rock Creek at home tonight, Chapman at home next week, and then on the road to finish out the district at Clay Center. And the standings in the district, Vikings are 5-1. Clay Center is 4-2. Rock Creek 2-4, and Chapman 1-5. So Vikings will have a little bit easier game maybe next week, but then they'll be on the road for the what conceivably should be the championship at Clay Center. So it flipped around. The ball was right at midfield, so it didn't take much moving around for these teams to get set. But we talk about how narrow the splits are for these Rock Creek. And here comes the quarterback looking at the little screen pass in the other way, caught by the fullback, but he's going to be wrapped up by Odell and
Kai Shugren
over there. Or Zach Abel as well. So that play was they tried to get the Vikings to flow to the near side and then pass back to the far side to the fullback. And he's probably their slowest back in the backfield. So maybe not the right choice, but we'll take it. 3rd down and long. No, it's 4th down again.
Fourth and long. And that was DeWeese in there at quarterback again, number 2 instead of Vetter, making that pass over, and the Vikings read it well.
Well, now they're going for it regular formation now for a punt. Looking back in the middle of pass and is well overthrown. Not even close. So they rolled the dice once again, this time from the 50-yard line, and the Vikings held on 4th down and will take over right at midfield.
Yeah, nice job by the Viking defense there. Really reading the plays, but we did play very good defense, but it was the couple of penalties out there that I think really kind of hamstrung Rock Creek on that first drive, that pushing them back, and like you said, thinking that it might have been 3rd down, but instead 4th. That 3rd and 10 play ended up being big, and we stopped that pretty well and forced them to go on 4th.
The Vikings have it, maybe one play in their own territory. Here comes busting up the middle. Is that Riley Odell? It is Riley Odell. He's across the 50 down to they're not going to give him the 49, so they give him a pickup of a long 2. 2nd down and 8 for Smoky Valley. Now, Cord Elliott got the start at fullback the whole first series, a 76-yard drive in 15 plays.
What a nice way to switch it up, though, from Court to Riley. The fullback position is extremely strong, and you're getting hit pretty hard by either one of them.
Wishbone formation behind. Here comes Odell again. No, here comes Anderson, churning and missing, making some blockers, running over a blocker. He may have 1st down, and he does. 8 yards on the carry for Kyle Anderson. Yeah, the nice advantage we have is now Cord Elliott, instead of being fullback, he's one of the tailbacks. So he's so versatile that you have that luxury. So Coach Lambert has had a lot of luxury with those 3 or 4 backs that he can interchange, because his own son Tim can come in there and run a lot.
And the nice thing about our wishbone is, you're right, you can either go with the 2 fullback wishbone, or you could go with your 2 speed guys in the wishbone.
Absolutely.
And have 1 fullback. So it really gives you some diversity back there.
Double tight wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. 1st and 10 Vikings. Heitschmidt's calling his own number. He bowls over a would-be tackler number 3 in there on the tackle, Hayes. And Brett just bowled him over. The last 2 yards he got of that 5-yard carry were just because of his forward thrust. So Brett got to call his own number that time and gained 5 yards. 8-0, Vikings up. Just under 10 minutes left to go, 2nd quarter. Vikings took nearly 8 minutes on their first drive. They took over this one just across midfield, and they would love to put this one in the end zone as well. Wishbone formation, Heitzman hands it off. Anderson. Oh, what a great tackle by Rock Creek as Kyle Anderson crossed the 35 and fell forward to the 34-yard line. But number 4 on that, Skylar Forge, saved the touchdown.
Yeah, we really had an overloaded line to the right side, gave the illusion that we wanted to run over there, and instead we counter it back to the left. And if number 4 doesn't get his hands on a shoestring there, I think Kyle's taking that one in for another touchdown.
You kind of heard the crowd maybe groaning or moaning a little bit, because it looked like Kyle was going to be off to the races. Wide out is Zion Thomas to the far side. Again, wishbone formation. Here comes Kyle again, running hard, still running hard. He bangs into a would-be tackler and gets to the 25-yard line for another Viking 1st down. The Vikings are just simply overpowering these Rock Creek Mustangs at the moment.
You know, the thing Coach Lambert has preached with these guys all year, And what he always preaches is we're going to do things the same way, and we're going to do it the right way every time. And you mentioned before, no penalties on that opening drive, and we continue to be in that same scenario here. And we're just running what we run well, and we're doing what we do well, and that's what we continue to move the ball down the field with.
Wishbone formation again. Here comes Riley Odell powering his way to the Next Tech Wireless Red Zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. A couple of scores through our Rockingham Radio Network. Mays 7, Salina Central 0. Derby, Salina South is all the way down at Derby. Derby up 9-0.
And Hoisington up 8-0 early against Ellsworth tonight as well.
All the districts are going around the area tonight. Wishbone formation here for Smoky Valley, leading 8-0. Here comes Tim Lambert trying to get outside. He's got some room. He's trying to stiff arm a tackler, and he'll go out of bounds about the 15-yard line. Good enough for a nearly 10 or 12-yard pickup and another first down. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. That's just an example of what we talked about. Here comes Tim Lambert in at one of the tailbacks, and he's got the speed to get outside.
Yeah, we've been pounding the short side of the field and pounding the short side of the field and pounding the middle, and that time we counter out. Actually, it was a fake to Kyle up the middle, or to Court up the middle, and we hit Tim going around the outside on the far side, and that was the weak side of the field, and we were able to get 10, 12 yards there.
Now they go and spread it out I formation with Thomas and Abel wide. Here comes Odell powering up the middle. I think it's Odell. And he'll get about 4 maybe on the dive right up the middle. 2nd down and goal for the Vikings at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was Court Elliott getting up there and picking up the yards again. Like you said, it's so hard to tell because they have such similar running styles. They just both run extremely hard.
And when they go I formation, we don't get as good a look at the tailback. And I didn't know for sure. 7:25 and counting in the first quarter. Vikings knocking on the door. It is Elliott and Anderson as the I formation. Lambert, the wide receiver, to the far side. Winholtz, the wide receiver, near side. Here comes Elliott. No, Eichsmith's taking it himself. And another tackle by number 4 again. That's Forge, keeping Brett Heichschmidt from scoring. So he's made a couple of touchdown-saving tackles.
Might be the best shoestring tackler we've seen out here tonight because he's gotten both of them that way. And you're right, saved the touchdown on both of them, although the Vikings continue to move well here at the 4-yard line.
In the end of one quarter, Minneapolis 0, Riley County 7. Another game with our Rockingham network of stations. So 3rd down and goal for the Vikings from the 5. Well, they say it's a 5-yard line. It's just inside the 5 at the 4. Handoff coming for Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson. They said, oh, I thought he was in. But he pounded down. I guess his knee hit with the ball before the goal, but it's 4th down and goal from the 2-inch line. As the back of the football looks like it's touching the 1-yard marker. So give him a foot to go. 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line officially with 6 minutes and 9 seconds and counting. Vikings have to hurry now. Only 12 seconds left on the play clock. It's so nice to have a play clock everybody can see out there. Wishbone formation. Elliott, Lambert, and now we're going to have a timeout called by Coach Lambert. He didn't want to take a chance. It was down to 4 seconds. We're going to keep this one right here, thanking the sponsors that help us with our portion of the broadcast. Art Shirt, Harry Malary, Viking Auto, Scott's, R&R Excavating, Mari Loader contact Mari Loader for all your Smoky Valley real estate needs, Dr. Darrell Loader at Smoky Valley Chiropractic, C&L Heating and Cooling, Lindsberg Family Dental, Phoenix Restoration, People's Bank and Trust, Gallant Tire and Auto, Dower Welding and Machine, and Bank of Tesket. Well, the Vikings have dominated. Rock Creek, after giving up that long 76-yard, 15-play drive, they had the ball for about 7 or 8 plays, went for it twice on 4th down, didn't make the second 4th down. The Vikings took over just outside of midfield and now are just a football length short of finishing this drive for a touchdown to go up by 2 touchdowns. So the Vikings have really been dominant right here. Just not big plays, just dominating plays.
Yeah, the Vikings have 10 plays so far on this drive, and we took over, I think, at about the 48, 49. So you add that to the first 15 plays we had of the game. So we've controlled the ball now for about 25 plays. It's a 9 for Rock Creek. And like you mentioned, 5:57 left in the first half, and Rock Creek's had the ball and made it to the 50-yard line, and that's it. So if we can punch it in here on fourth down, that's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on the Rock Creek offense, especially the style of offense they run.
Lambert, Anderson, and Elliott are the backs in the wishbone behind Brad Heitschmidt. They're going to push it right in the middle, and Cord Elliott's in easy. Touchdown, Smoky Valley, with 5:54 to go. But the Vikings are just simply, our front five linemen are just simply not a match for Rock Creek so far in this game.
Yeah, Burke, Shugren, Groslin, Peterson, Wampler, and even Adams. And then also, let's not leave out Blake Hebel, because when we go to that wishbone, Blake comes in to play the other tight end. So we really go with a pretty stacked line, and you're right, that interior line right there really made the job happen. Court really got in from a yard out with really no problem whatsoever. Probably ended up 2 or 3 yards deep. So we're going to go for 2 here, just as we usually do, and looks like we're maybe going to go wishbone here again as we're going to have double tight end.
We're going to have to hurry. There's 3 seconds left on the. Here comes a toss to the outside. Lambert's trying to get away. He can't. So tackle, a little bit of a toss sweep, trying to isolate the pitch to Lambert. And I think we were really a little bit rushed and weren't quite ready to make that, so that run failed. But the Vikings are up 14-0 with 5:54 left to go. Back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
Stop by Freddy's Frozen Custard before or after the game. Try Freddy's world-famous mouth-watering steak burgers or their delicious frozen custard. Freddy's in Salina, 2420 South 9th, next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
First Bank Kansas is a proud sponsor of Smoky Valley football. First Bank Kansas is your community-oriented, customer-focused bank where banking is made personal with locations in Lindsborg, Salina, and McPherson.
The Vikings play here.
Mays has got another touchdown. They lead Salina Central 14-0. Here it's 14-0 in favor of the Smoky Valley Vikings as they'll be kicking off from our right to left. We'll be kicking toward the north. We're on the west side of the press box here at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field. A beautiful turf field, but it's going to have some updates to it. It's been here, I think, in 2008 was when this football field was put in, so it's getting ready to be 10 years old.
Another update from down south. Andale leads Buhler 7-6. That's with 7:12 left in the second quarter.
McPherson's out at Hayes. We'll have to see if we get a score on that. Here's Raleigh Wilson's kick. It's going to come down at the 20-yard line to number 8, taking it to the right side, trying to get all the way outside the number. Still on his feet. Flag comes in, and that's typically holding or blocking the back. He ends up getting tackled at the 30-yard line. That was Golden. And we will see what this flag is all about. Unless it could be a face mask, it could be, but we know our Vikings don't penalize very much. Mr. Burks over here has some binoculars. I want to see what's that. It looks like a TV screen over there. I don't know if they got the technology that they can redo some plays or do some things over there on the sideline.
You know, you and I saw that last year. I don't know if you remember, because we were over on their side and we saw the screen up. We couldn't see the other side of the screen to see what was on it. But we did say they have the screen up, and they may be looking at some plays they like to run. Yeah. I don't know that officially you can look at plays during a game.
I don't know either what the high school rule is.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 10-yard penalty back to the 20. Vetter, the quarterback, and great play by Cord Elliott. Cord Elliott snuffed that one out, saw what he needed to see on that one, and just zipped in and tackled Vetter for a loss of about 4 yards on the play. So great read by Cord Elliott, playing one of the linebackers for Smoky Valley. It's Anderson, Elliott, and Odell as the 3 linebackers for Smoky Valley, and they are quick. They are good. Better in that pistol shotgun type formation. Going to hand it. No, he's going to keep it himself. No, he did hand it off, but a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards at the most will get Rock Creek to a 3rd and 12. Vikings lead 14-0, and they are just playing phenomenal tonight. We're also on at live.smokyvalley.org as well tonight.
And that was another interesting play. They actually had DeWeese back there again, giving it to Vetter coming off the edge. So it was still Vetter running it, just not out of key position.
DeWeese is the quarterback. He's going to hand it off, and he's going to get stopped right up the middle. He got through, and nearly first down yardage, but the Viking defense, they fooled me on that one. I thought it went to the outside left side, but it came back to Vetter up the middle, and he nearly broke it for first down yardage. But it's 4th down and 3. Interesting call here. How much confidence does the coach have in this Rock Creek offense? Stoppage of play here for a minute. The officials are calling timeout. I don't know if somebody got hurt. If Blake Hebel got hurt, he's coming off the field. Gave them a little more time to...
Yeah, it looks like Blake might have an equipment malfunction there. I think they noticed. I don't think the helmet snap was staying on, so they're going to have to fix that on the sideline. It looks like Blake's just going to trade a helmet there and go back out on the field.
They're still in running type formation. It's 4th down and a long 3 for Rock Creek here. Huge play in this part of the game. I think they're just trying to bounce the Vikings offside, and that's exactly what they did. So delay of game called against Rock Creek.
No, it looks like they might give them the timeout. It looks like the other official on the far side is signaling timeout. And so it looks like it's going to be timeout, no penalty.
No penalty, timeout. We'll step aside as well. Vikings up 14-0. 4:18 left to go. Second quarter. Back right after this.
Ever wonder why some wireless carriers charge so much more than others? At Nextech Wireless, you'll receive nationwide coverage, 4G LTE data, and unlimited data. But we don't overcharge you like some of the other carriers do. Plus, we have buy one, get one free smartphones and the best customer service. With more than 50 stores in our area, you can actually talk to us face-to-face. Tired of paying more and only getting more fees, charges, and a higher bill? Say goodbye to your carrier and hello to Nextech Wireless.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
And welcome back. Thank you, Mike Rose, for that update. It is legal to review plays, so what does it say?
Always good to have people paying attention to us. And I know Mike does such a great job up there filming our games. And, of course, we love that in basketball season too, Mike. But he said they're playing back the previous series for their players and making adjustments there.
Punt coming down, thinking a fair catch is Zach Abel at the 38-yard line. So Vikings will take over 1st and 10. The kicker was Trey Martin. He was the one that ran that one earlier on the 4th down fake. So it's a 3-and-out for the Vikings, though. The Viking defense has held again, and now they'd like to run this in and try to get the ball back. Rock Creek deferred from the first half. The Rock Creek will start the second half with the ball. So, boy, we'd certainly love to see this a little quicker drive here. We've had some longer drives. We want to have a quicker one now.
Yeah, and so far tonight, the Vikings have 26 plays, 128 yards, and meanwhile, you've got 14 plays for Rock Creek, only 40 yards. So it's been a dominant first half.
Wishbone formation. Here comes Lambert. He gets upended right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like they may give him, the far official was giving him a yard or two. The near official said, nope, he is stuck right where you were at. No gain on the play. So Lambert, somebody came in there from their linebacking position.
Yeah, it looked like number 72 was in there first. The big guy up front, that was that easy name to pronounce, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's why I haven't tried.
Thanks for setting me up for that one. And then number 7 also that we mentioned a lot, Garrett, he's been able to get up in there as well. We'll have somebody come in and practice this, Beaujarquet.
Go by the first name. Here comes Anderson trying the left side. He's got some room. He's trying to get through the last tackle, and he can't get through it. Great effort in there by the Rock Creek Mustangs to contain Kyle Anderson. He gets across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. It's 3rd down and 3 for Smoky Valley. 3:15 and counting to go here in the second quarter. Vikings are going to have to air it out a little bit if they're going to score. They've been dominating the ball, but they just haven't gotten. We talked about that before, Doug, about the lack of big plays. And their defense is suffocating, but here comes Kyle. He's across midfield. He's still churning. He gets all the way down to the 40-yard line, and the ball comes loose. But it is a wrestling match between Grosslin and they almost got a penalty there on Rock Creek. Grosslin and one of their backs, number 2, I think, were wrestling for the ball after it came loose. And one of Rock Creek's players, I don't know why the official didn't throw the flag, because he came over there and double-handed Grosslin on the play, and Vikings end up, just as I say, they're not getting big yard plays. How many yards was that? About 15 yards?
17 yards on that play.
17 yards on that play. So they must have heard me talking about that. 1st and 10, Vikings at the 40 of Rock Creek. Heitschmidt rolling out the pass, looking down the middle to Lambert, and it is incomplete. A lot of contact there between DeWeese and Lambert. No flags out.
Yeah, and the ball got hung up there a little bit, but I think Tim could have maybe dove in there a little bit. It allowed number 2 for them, like you said, DeWeese, to be able to get some commitment to that. But we really never got behind the defense. He was always deeper than we were, which gave him room to make that close. But, I think Smokey's thinking the same thing. We're going to have to speed up just a smidge here if we want to try to score.
I formation this time behind Heitschmidt. Elliott and Anderson. Here comes Elliott with it, churning up the middle. He'll get down to near the 35-yard line, pick up about, let's say 36, so pick up a 4 on the play. 2:20 and counting here right before halftime. The Vikings leading 14-0. Would love to get 6 more.
Yeah, it looks like we're speeding up the calls a little bit, trying to get into our offense a little bit faster, like you said here, about third and 6.
Anderson trying up the middle. Anderson running over tacklers. Anderson trying to get to the 30, and I believe he made it. I believe he's got first down yardage. So first down, Smoky Valley. That stops the clock to get the reset at the 30-yard line. So the Vikings have it now within striking distance. Get a couple plays. They got a 1:57 left to go, but the man in the white hat winds the clock, which is the right thing to do. The Vikings do have 2 timeouts remaining. So first and 10 at the 30. Thomas and Abel, wide receivers to the right. Oh, this is a weird formation. Lambert to the left. Kyle Anderson goes out. Shotgun formation for Brett Heitschmidt down the middle with the pass. Oh, here goes a flag. Should be. No, just tangled up. Tim Lambert went down. DeWeese was trailing him this time, and they got their feet tangled up. Lambert, I think, is out there asking why that's not a penalty. I don't know that you can trip the defender, can trip the offensive guy, but they're allowed that to happen that time.
Yeah, I think the official just explained that he thought they got their feet tied up a little bit as they were both running.
Yeah.
And again, that's kind of a judgment call.
Sure,
in this case, the judgment kind of goes against us, but you saw them run that trips to the right there and another solo on the left. A little different lineup for us.
Heitschmidt under center, this time I formation, running Cord Elliott up the middle. Cord Elliott still churning inside the 25 down to the 24. So he'll pick up 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 for the Vikings with 1:20 now left to go. Vikings are certainly speeding up now. Zach Abel comes running out quickly with the play. Brett's getting everybody to the line of scrimmage. I formation, Zion Thomas, the flanker to the right. I formation behind Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt rolling out. Now he's going to give it to Anderson. Anderson up the middle. He's got first down yardage to the 15-yard line inside the red zone. The Next Tech Wireless red zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. And great run by Kyle Anderson. Under a minute we go. I formation again. Thomas and Lambert wide each way. Heitschmidt under center. Quick look over the middle to the corner. Thomas, touchdown! Zion Thomas from Brett Heitschmidt. And I see his dad every Sunday morning, and his dad says, Zion can catch it. They just need to throw it to him. And he showed it right there. What a great catch by Zion Thomas.
Yeah, it was a great setup play there on the 10th play of the drive for the Vikings. And like we said, 10 plays. Started about 63-yard drive, 10 plays, 63 yards. And all that was, we'd run the slant or the post the last 2 or 3 times and taken everything into the middle. That time, Zion just ran a fade to the right corner of the end zone, and Brett just let it fly after about a 3-step drop and put the thing right up there perfectly as we come out in the bone.
2-point conversion. Elliott is in easily. And our Vikings score with 40 seconds left to go. It's 22-20. Back with the ensuing kickoff right after this.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Don Bingston is your local Farm Bureau Financial Services agent and is proud to be in his 12th year as voice of the Vikings. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes, in all your activities this year.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
If anybody's listening closely to me out there, don't go by what I say, go by what I mean. It's 22-0. I think Doug said, you said 22-20. They haven't even had 20 plays yet.
I don't think they have. A couple of scores from around our league, at least tonight. Hoisington now up 16-0 on Ellsworth. That's in the second quarter. Holcomb up on Kingman 7-0. I think those are the only 2 league scores that I have at this point in time. You may have a couple more, and still trying to look for other scores around the state. But what a dominant first half by the Vikings. You and I talked when we first got here about the fact that they play a little different style and a little different type of opponents than what we faced during the year. But just like we said, the Vikings are coming out and running exactly the way we usually play. We just continue to attack. Looks like there must have been a unsportsmanlike penalty because we're going to be kicking off here from the 45
of Rock Creek.
Yeah. You're right.
On the other side of the 50-yard line, so must have been a penalty in the end zone. I knew there was something going on in the end zone, but I did not see a flag out. So Raleigh Wilson will kick it off for the Vikings from the 45. And he's going to bounce it on the ground, picked up by Rock Creek Martin, and he'll get up to the 25, maybe 27-yard line, and that's where they'll have a chance to get a play or two before the halftime, as it's only 34 seconds left. So Vikings need to air it out on defense a little bit, back up a little bit on safeties, make sure that Rock Creek doesn't try to air it out too much here. See what they decide to do. They've had that double tight end and tight splits formation. Boy, they are so close to each other. DeWeese back in the backfield, looking down the field to throw it. He's got a receiver out there and caught.
Caught by Vetter out there, the quarterback, the original quarterback. Tackle on the play made by Lane Schrog out there.
Schrog, yeah. But he just whiffed it up there, and Lane did the right thing by staying deep and let him get in front of it. It was underthrown, so he went back and got the ball. So a pickup of 20 yards or better on the play inside Viking territory now. 18 seconds left to go. DeWee's going to throw it in the backfield, caught by Vetter. He's going to look like he was going to try to throw it, and it's picked off by Anderson. Kyle Anderson with the interception. Kyle Anderson could go all the way. A pick 6 for Kyle Anderson. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Smoky Valley. There isn't any flags out in the backfield. I thought that was a backwards pass, but I wasn't sure. I saw the official looking to see if it was. Vetter then decided to throw it, and Kyle Anderson stepped in front of it and took it from the 40-yard line.
It was a 65-yard return after the interception, so he takes it from the 35. And I didn't see down here, I'm not sure exactly who he had on this edge, but whoever it was that Vetter had made the pass.
Great block
over here. And I hate to say that I didn't see who it was. I was actually watching Kyle to see if he could tiptoe that sideline really well, and he did. But what a huge play. You give up a big pass play, and then they force a play. That was similar to that trick play they tried last year and were able to score off of. We committed really hard to that, and they were able to hit the play up the field. This time the Vikings stayed home, knew they couldn't give up a deep ball, and Kyle with the pick 6.
2.9 seconds left to go. There's a timeout by Coach Lambert. We'll keep this one right here. I don't think he had set up. They rushed the 2-point conversion that they didn't make a touchdown ago. So I think he wants to give a little coaching moment here to his team as they're up 28-0. But yeah, I saw that block too, and I was hoping that I could catch the number. But as I had to call Kyle down the field, I didn't get the number of who that was. So maybe we can grab Coach Henderson on his way down and see if he happens to know to give credit, because that block is what sprung Kyle. He could have maybe cut back into the middle of the field, but he knew he had that seam, that sideline, and he took it back. How after I just got done criticizing us for not getting the big play tonight.
Well, we respond when we ask. You ask for it, we give it to you. We talked about their offense not being real conducive to coming back like this. They've only thrown for 285 yards this year on only 29 attempts coming into tonight. And I would say tonight, what have they had? Maybe 4 already? 5 attempts?
Something like that.
On the ground, they've picked up 1,485 yards. So the way we've played them on the ground so far and the way we've limited their possessions, and of course now being down 28-0 and possibly 30, it's going to be really, really a big road here for Rock Creek to come back.
Well, you get bit by trying to be greedy at the end of the half, going for, a possession score. Here's the 2-point conversion. Heitschmidt under center. He's going to hang on to the ball now. It's a toss to Lambert, and it's in no good. So it looked like a little option play, and the toss from Heitschmidt to Lambert was errant, and it goes down to no good. 2.9 seconds left to go. Vikings 28, Rock Creek 0. Back right after this.
Did you know you can purchase custom-etched glassware at the Hemsloyd? It's a perfect one-of-a-kind gift. Hemsloyd Scandinavian Specialties, and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley and Bethany Athletics since 1984. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket, generations of confidence, relationships for life, with locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
What an exciting last 1 minute in the regulation here of the first half as the Vikings scored a touchdown with 40.2 seconds on a Heitschmidt to Zion Thomas pass, and then 2 plays into Rock Creek's possession, Kyle Anderson gets a pick 6 for 65 yards. How exciting. Ensuing kickoff on the ground, picked up by one of their upbacks, number 55, and he's just going to run it forward a couple yards and get up across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And that will be the end of the first half. Our halftime score, and we'll be back with Salina Regional Orthopedic Sports Medicine halftime show. Smoky Valley 28, Rock Creek 0. Back right after this.
Area high school athletes now have a big home field advantage. The new Salina Regional Sports Medicine Clinic. Led by orthopedic surgeon Dr. Timothy Hawks, Salina Regional Sports Medicine offers comprehensive care, from education to prevent sports injuries, to performance, to the preservation and healing of damaged joints through surgery and rehabilitation. Fellowship trained in sports medicine orthopedic surgery, Dr. Hawks specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of ligament, cartilage, and meniscus injuries. He and his team of physical therapists, athletic trainers, and his physician assistants support 5 area high schools, providing the highest quality, most timely care to athletes of every sport. In the school training facility.
Your Wildfires are Captain Peyton Stevenson, Heather Schreiner, Abby Enyard, Taylor Barnes, Carissa Kendall-Starber, Elena McMillan, and Derek Elliott. Other Wildfires not performing tonight are Captain Danny Rogers and Whitney Johnson. If I could direct your attention down to the track now. Prior to kickoff of the Vikings' first home football game this season, Midway Motors from McPherson and Ford Motor Company teamed up with Smoky Valley Booster Club to host the Drive for Your School event. This event gave many SV fans and friends an opportunity to test drive a new Ford vehicle and help raise funds for our Booster Club. For each test drive that night, Ford Motor Company donated $20 to the Smoky Valley Booster Club General Fund. Bill Kennedy, representing Midway Motors, is pleased to be presenting a check from Ford Motor Company to the Smoky Valley Booster Club in the amount of $4,040. Smoky Valley Booster Club would like to thank Bill Kennedy, Midway Motors, and Ford Motor Company for their willingness to team up this season to help us raise funds that can be used to assist our Viking students and athletes and programs. We would like to also thank our fans, friends, and Booster Club supporters for helping us with another successful event. Thank you.
Anderson stepped in front of it and took it 65 yards. We found out that Carson Windholtz was the block that sprung him about the 35-yard line, and he streaked into the end zone 65 yards later with 2.9 seconds left to go on the clock. The Vikings had a 28-0 lead. The two-point conversion was no good, and then the Vikings kicked off to Rock Creek, and that ended the first half. So it's a 28-0. Are the stats as lopsided as the score?
I would say they definitely are. Rock Creek tonight, 16 total plays in the first quarter or first half of action, only 65 total yards of offense. They average about 4.1 yards per play. We said they didn't pass a lot. They were 2 for 5 for 27 yards. Austin DeWeese completing both of those. He was 2 for 3 for 27, while Taylor Vetter was 0 for 2, including the pick there on the little screen flare or lateral where they tried to hit the deep ball. Running the ball tonight, they've run the ball 11 times for 38 yards, averaging about 3.5 yards per carry. Led tonight by Taylor Vetter. He has 9 carries for 25 yards. Trey Martin has 2 carries for 13. Receiving-wise, Vetter has their big catch right before the half. He had 1 grab for 25 yards. Nate Williams, the other catch of the night, 1 grab for 2 yards. Tackling-wise, they have Tucker Gert, 9 tackles, including 7 solos. Caden Churchman has 5 tackles. Mac Hayes 3, Skylar Forge 3, and a number of players with 2.5, 2, and 1. So overall, in a couple of they had 1 punt for 36 yards. Also, only 4 first downs in that first half, including a 1 for 5 third down efficiency and a 1 for 2 fourth down efficiency. And that was maybe by the hair of a chinny chin there as they got the nice fake and were able to get the ball up for the first down. They did have 4 penalties in that first half for 35 yards. The Vikings, meanwhile, 36 plays in that first half, taking up a total of 16 minutes, 47 seconds compared to 7 minutes and 10 seconds for Rock Creek. We put up 36 plays, 34 yards passing by Brett Heitschmidt tonight on 2 of 4. He also does a great job there. Being able to find the open guys. He does have the 1 touchdown as well, so 2 for 4, 34 yards. He did hit Zion Thomas for that 3rd touchdown of the night, if I remember correctly. Jacob Adams, the other recipient, 1 grab for 19 yards early in that first drive. Running the ball again has been key tonight for the Vikings. 32 rushing attempts for 157 yards. Not necessarily a great per yard or yard per rush. We are at 4.9. We'll take that definitely, but sometimes the Vikings have a much higher number there. But doing a great job. Kyle Anderson leading the way, 15 carries, 92 yards, and 1 touchdown. Court Elliott, 9 carries, 34 yards, and the other touchdown rushing. Tim Lambert, 4 carries, 17 yards. Brett Heitschmidt, 2 carries for 8, and Riley Odell, 2 carries for 6 yards. The Vikings have not had to punt tonight, have never really been in a position to have to punt tonight. We do have 15 first downs on the night, and as we pointed out, our third down efficiency, 5 for 7, 71.4%, and fourth down, 2 for 2. So we've gone for it twice, both of them short. One of them was on the touchdown that Court took in. The other one was early in the second drive, if I remember correctly, where we had a short 4th and 1, or first drive. Might have been that first drive, actually. So absolute dominance, like we said, 191 to 65, 36 plays to 16 on offense. And I don't care who you are, if you have to be out there on defense that long, it's extremely difficult.
Time now to look our impact performance of the first half, brought to you by the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic, offering comprehensive sports medicine care from education to preventing sports injuries to sports performance and preservation and healing of damaged joints through surgery and rehabilitation. Dr. Timothy Hawks and his team of physical therapists, athletic trainers, and physician assistants are dedicated to providing the highest quality of sports medicine care. And we visited about it. We talked about it. Kyle Anderson with where's number 5, had 15 carries for 92 yards, but the big back-breaking play was that 65-yard pick six, who picked up a block by Carson Windholtz about the 35-yard line and took it to the house. Kyle Anderson is definitely tonight in this first half our Salina Regional Orthopedic Sports Medicine Clinic top performer.
Yeah, he did a great job in that first half, and just absolute dominance. You know, you kind of made a great play there, but like you said, Carson Windholtz getting that block after we finally got a spotter to tell us that. But not only that, everybody turned from defense to offense there really well, and was able to spring Kyle for that touchdown. Also want to point out, I know earlier in the year, Midway Motors, I believe it was, did the Drive for Education, and I saw them out on the field while you were doing the recap. Smoky Valley Booster Club was the beneficiary of $4,040 check from that organization. So that goes to Smoky Valley Booster Club to support athletics and all types of activities throughout the Smoky Valley community. Great to have them here. It was a great turnout that night, and obviously a number of people participated. So what a great night and what a great thing for our Smoky Valley Booster Club.
And we'll take our first time out. When we come back, I'll talk about cross country. Coach Holly Lindquist has sent me some stats about the boys league champions in cross country. So we'll talk about how all that wrapped up. Again, our halftime score, Smoky Valley 28, Rock Creek 0. Back right after this.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
Yeah, sure, the weather may be enjoyable now, but those brisk icy winds aren't far away. Keep Jack Frost out of your garage, out of your home, and most importantly, out of your pockets. Let Overhead Door eliminate those pesky air leaks with a cold weather tune-up for the biggest opening of your home, your garage door. This month, Overhead Door Company is offering a 20% discount on all top, side, and bottom seals with installation. Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas in Salina and McPherson. Online at odcnck.com.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins, 785-472-4426 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Last play of the game, folks.
And the snap. Drops back. Whoa, changes mind. Down the sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Kasasa! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Kasasa!
Not to be a buzzkill, but what's Kasasa? We're glad you asked that. Kasasa. It's a catchy word for earning cash. Free Kasasa checking rewards you in cash each month.
Ask for Kasasa. Offered locally at the Bank of Tesket in Salina, Lincoln, Lindsborg, and Tesket. Member FDIC.
The Vikings play here.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where tomorrow afternoon is homecoming for Bethany College. They play the Sterling Warriors, coached by Tim Lambert's younger brother, Chuck Lambert. So it'll be Lambert. We hope the other Lambert isn't successful, as the Vikings are up 28-0 in this one. That Sterling, year in and year out, has great football over at their college. So we hope you can come out. The parade tomorrow, it is Svensk Hildingsfest weekend. The parade tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and they have a lot of arts and craft booths in the upper level of the Sundstrom building. They have dancing in some tents at the parking lot at the south end of the administration building.
But you and I won't be dancing.
No, we won't be dancing. Yeah, don't worry about that. But lots of things going on tomorrow. I hope the weather holds, and it's just a culmination of a lot of hard work by the Healings Fest committee, the whole city of Lindsborg, and what an exciting event once again. And speaking of exciting events, the Smoky Valley cross country team, the boys won the league, the girls took second. What kind of results do you have, Doug?
Yeah, congratulations to both the boys and girls teams yesterday. Like Donnie said, first place for the boys. Ryan Helene finished fourth in his time of 17:34. Josh Peterson fifth in a time of 17:50. Ty Miller, he finished 11th at 18:31. Zach Lott 14th at 18:41. Stephen Peterson 16th at 18:49. Carter Couchman 26th. Logan Bodenhammer 34th. Julian Maldonado took 9th in the JV at a time of 21 minutes and 10 seconds. Logan Rawson was 10th in JV at 21:24. Obadiah Nelson 13th. Lawrence Dalston 15th. Gabe Lundberg 24th. Cole Brumbaugh 25th. Joseph Hunsecker 47th. Chris Mullen 57th. And Isaiah Rubel 59th. Those last few there, JV. The girls finished second yesterday. Gracie Lott took third in a time of 22:30. Haley Pretty, she took seventh with a time of 22:59. Kaisa Peterson 9th at a time of 23:01. Kaylee Cornett 23rd at a time of 26:13. Taylor Coons 26th, coming in at 26:58, and Nevada Atchison taking 30th with a time of 27:17. The middle schools also had their league meet as well. The girls finishing second there. Gracie Lambert took 7th. She was a time of 14:41. Lydia Peterson 8th, 14:42, so 1 second behind Gracie. Riley Ebert 11th, 15:01. Brianna Pretty 12th, 15:13. Olivia Bankston 13th at 15:23. Savannah Phillips 19th at 16:20. So a great job by the girls. The boys, middle school boys, also taking second. Trayton Miller finished 7th with a time of 12:56. Caden Kibler 8th at a time of 12:57. Wyatt Johnson 13th at 13:20. Trevor Johnson 19th with 13:40. JT Gross 25th. Kellen Johnson 27th. Brant Hayden 28th. Max Beaker 31st, Justice Gardner 34th. So great job by our middle school and high school cross-country runners. So fantastic. And a little plug, my son Alec, of course, taking first runner-up or being one member of the court for homecoming tomorrow at Bethany College. Extremely proud of him and all of them, including the King, Zach Batman, as well.
And the queen is the golfer.
I'm drawing a blank on her name.
Aspen Bryant.
Yes, that's
correct. She was golfing today at the golf tournament up at Woolly Cat Golf Tournament up in Salina. Quoting Holly Lindquist on her team's results. I am very excited to start our postseason meets with a league championship as runners-up on the girls' side. We've been working on just getting a little more of an edge on our competition these last couple of weeks, and it paid off today. What an awesome day. We had some runners move up in position, which made us even more competitive as a team. I'm even more anxious to compete at our regional meet now. I feel that a bit of success is the key to even better success. So, Holly, we appreciate you sending us those results, and the cross-country team continues to excel, and we wish them the best. That regional is coming up. Is it next week or the week after? I don't remember.
I believe it's next week.
I think it's next week. So we wish them the best of luck in their meet. 28-0 is our score. We'll come back here after this 1-minute timeout and update you from some scores around the Rockingham Media Network. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football. Back right after this.
Area high school athletes now have a big home field advantage. The new Salina Regional Sports Medicine Clinic. Led by orthopedic surgeon Dr. Timothy Hawks, Salina Regional Sports Medicine offers comprehensive care, from education to prevent sports injuries, to performance, to the preservation and healing of damaged joints through surgery and rehabilitation. Fellowship trained in sports medicine orthopedic surgery, Dr. Hawks specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of ligament, cartilage, and meniscus injuries. He and his team of physical therapists, athletic trainers, and his physician assistants support 5 area high schools, providing the highest quality, most timely care to athletes of every sport. In the school training facility, on the field, or in our clinic, we're ready wherever and whenever you need us. From high school athletes to weekend warriors, we'll help you get back in the game and keep you in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, the leader in comprehensive sports medicine.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field, here on the campus of Bethany College, Smoky Valley has a 28-0 lead at halftime. Other halftime scores include Riley County 33, Minneapolis 0, Wamego over Abilene 14-8, Mays over Salina Central 24-0, Derby over Salina South 46-0. And that is what I have from the Rockingham Media Network. What do you guys got?
Some other scores specifically from our league here. It looks like we've got Halstead up 16-0 on Haven. Holcomb up 15-0 on Kingman. Hoisington up 16-0 on Ellsworth. Pratt up 14-7 on Hugoton. Nickerson up 21-14 on Trinity. And then a few other scores of note around the state. Andale up 14-6 on Buhler at the half. Mulvane 26-7 over Ulysses, and Goddard up 30-7 over Valley Center. So a number of things there.
You didn't get a max score? You didn't find a max score?
I haven't seen a max score yet at all. Another plug here tonight. Again, we do want to remind you, because it is such a big weekend, the Lindsborg Swedish folk dancers, of course, are presenting a Swedish twist on an American classic. Menu of pulled pork with Swedish lingonberry barbecue sauce, dill potatoes, Swedish coleslaw, almond cake with lingonberries and cream, and then also coffee, lemonade, tea, and water. That will be tomorrow at the Evangelical Covenant Church, 102 South Washington, from 11 to 2, 10 o'clock for the meal as we get underway here for the second half.
And the kick by Wilson's taken by Martin at the 25-30, up the middle 35, and tackled down about the 36-yard line. It was, Trey Martin for Rock Creek that took that little bit shorter kick. Trying to see, I see McPherson High School, but I don't see that score. So,
yeah, we keep looking there. I don't see him. Of course, sometimes coming from Hayes, you don't get as many scores that come back this way, but we'll try to stay on top of that, because obviously that's an area score of note here.
Rock Creek with Deweese in there at quarterback, it looks like. No, it's Vetter. He's going to keep it himself, running up the middle. He's quickly stopped, but he'll lean forward and get a yard or maybe two on the play. Ended up being tackled in there by Court Elliott and Conrad Peterson. So second down, and they're only going to give him about 1.5 yards, so officially a 1-yard carry. We're just underway, third quarter. Vikings 28, Rock Creek 0. Vetter in that pistol type of, now it's Deweese giving it off to Vetter. He's trying the right side, and he'll get to the 40-yard line, but he'll be stopped there, third down and 6 for Rock Creek at the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line. So they are not being able to get into much of Viking territory.
No, not moving the ball very quickly either for an offense like this to be able to knock off 28 points. Number one, you've got to be able to stop us, but number two, you're going to have to get up and down the field pretty quickly.
And here's a play again, handing it off. No, Deweese is going to keep it himself, and he's going to get a couple of yards across the 40 up to the 42-yard line. Finally found a one score, 7-0, McPherson over Hayes, but haven't found anything else. Trying to use my phone. Here's another fourth down already for Rock Creek in their own territory at the 42-yard line. They went for a fake on this and got it by the narrowest of margins. Last time back to punt was 35 Martin. So he's back there in the backfield with the quarterback, Deweese. Shotgun formation. They're going to snap it. Deweese, it's an inside handoff to Vetter, and he's not going to make it. Vetter tried it again. Coach Beam did that inside reverse kind of counter play, and it did not work. Great defense. Tim Lambert, one of the last ones up off the pile, along with Conrad Peterson. Well, the Vikings had that dig diagnosed well.
Yeah, they've really covered up that play extremely well. They've recognized what they're trying to do, and we're really closing more and more guys up into the box. We're not playing our safeties extremely deep. We're bringing our corners up, and we're just trying to string the plays along. But our front four are just doing a great job outworking their front five.
Two receivers wide to the near side, Lambert wide to the far side. Here comes Riley Odell pounding his way in the middle, and he'll get about 3 yards down to the 40-yard line. So we take over inside Rock Creek territory at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, it gives us a short field again, another great opportunity to be able to punch the ball in here early in the second half. But what a great start. Our defense stepping up again. And we mentioned the fact they only had 16 plays in the first half. Now add 4 to that. They're up to 20, and our offense is back on the field again and another drive.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. I formation. Here comes Kyle Anderson pounding his way across for first down yardage. Tackling on that play, number 22, Henning. He's been on a lot of tackles, but not before Kyle Anderson picks up first down yardage again down to the 32-yard line. So a nice run by Kyle Anderson. And just give credit once again, Doug, to our offensive line. Conrad Peterson, Kai Shugren, Nate Gosselin, Ethan Wampler, and who did I miss?
Kai Shugren.
Or Burks, John Burks.
Burks in there as well, yep.
John Burks. So they've just been
and pushing. Jacob Adams and Blake Hebel when we go to our larger bone look.
Heitschmidt looking back to pass now, a stoppage of play. We got a false start on the Vikings. Somebody jumped on the far side, I guess, so we will redo that one for you. As the Vikings have really done a great job in being penalty-free.
That was our first penalty on the night, I believe.
I think it is, yeah. I think it is our first penalty, so that is amazing. So first down and 15. Heitschmidt was back to pass on that one. They've gone with this double wide receiver to the near side, single receiver to the far side, which is out of our normal formation format. Here comes Heitschmidt on the keeper. On the option, he gets it back to Kyle Anderson. He's got some running room. Great tackle in there by Rock Creek to get that back to penalty yardage and a little bit more. Get about 8 or 9 yards on that carry inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Skylar Forge for Rock Creek doing a great job stepping in there, taking on the locomotive known as Kyle Anderson, heading up the sideline, and he really had to stick his nose in there pretty hard to take down Kyle. So a nice gain. Like you mentioned, get back the yards from the penalty and about 5 more along the way.
Back to wishbone formation, 2nd down and 5. Lone receiver is Zach Abel to the far side. Here comes Tim Lambert. He's knifing his way inside the numbers, and he'll get down to the 23-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 1, a long one, short 2, as we hit the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. Rock Creek had the first possession of this quarter. And we normally say 3 and out, but they went for it on 4th down, so it was a 4 and out. And now the Vikings are driving once again.
Feels like we've seen the Vikings on offense all night tonight, doesn't it?
It does. A wishbone formation again for the Vikings. Here comes Kyle Anderson. Here goes first down yardage inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone. Kyle Anderson running hard and getting first down yardage. Low rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to just being a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. First down and 10 at the 17-yard line. How many yards was that for Kyle on that play?
7.
7-yard run by Kyle.
We'll take that every play, won't we?
Oh, my. Wide receiver is Abel on the near side. Wishbone formation. Tight end Adams on this side. Here comes Riley Odell. Here goes Riley Odell inside the 10, inside the 7-yard line. Setting the Vikings up near first down yardage again. It will be short of the first down, so we'll credit him with 9 yards on that carry. The Vikings will have it 2nd down and 1 at officially the 8-yard line.
Just continuing to wear out those front linemen that they have. And not only the front linemen, but these linebackers that they have out there have really been active tonight. They've had to be, because we've gotten to that second level on almost every play.
Wishbone formation once again. Here comes Lambert trying to get outside, trying to get to the corner. Touchdown. Tim Lambert from the 8-yard line takes it in at the 6:26 mark. And the Vikings add to their 28-0 lead. It's 34-0. But that's what speed do. That's what the Royals used to say. But the Vikings can say that as Tim Lambert just simply outran everybody to the corner marker.
You saw that little burst of speed we talked about a few games ago here, where he had that great kickoff return. And he did that here again. He saw the opening there on the edge and really kicked it up. Everybody looked like they had a nice angle to maybe push him out at the 1 or the 2, and he just got around the corner and was able to take it in as the Vikings come out for 2, split wide.
Wide receiver each way, I formation. Here comes Riley Odell, though, running it right up the middle. Good. Odell, 2-point conversion, good. And our score was 6:26 left to go. in the third quarter. Smoky Valley 36, Rock Creek 0. Back right after this.
At Mocha's, they get it. They understand your morning cup of coffee is more than just coffee. They know that your favorite coffee drink is the only way to make your day flow. Fresh coffee, lattes, sandwiches, and more. Mocha's with 2 Salina locations, 916 East Crawford and 2424 South 9th Street next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas invites you to visit their website at odcnck.com. Once there, you can look over the products that Overhead Door offers for commercial and residential installation and repair. Overhead Door Company services all of North Central Kansas.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
Yeah, sure, the weather may be enjoyable now, but those brisk icy winds aren't far away. Keep Jack Frost out of your garage, out of your home, and most importantly, out of your pockets. Let Overhead Door eliminate those pesky air leaks with a cold weather tune-up for the biggest opening of your home, your garage door. This month, Overhead Door Company is offering a 20% discount on all top, side, and bottom seals with installation. Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas in Salina and McPherson. Online at odcnck.com.
Direct Access Physical Therapy is available at Lindsborg Community Hospital. Direct Access means you can schedule an appointment for PT without a doctor's order. Sports rehab, post-joint replacement, back pain. Schedule an appointment for evaluation and treatment. Mark, Robin, Nikki, and Derek will get you on your way to better health and activity. Call 785-227-3308 and ask for physical therapy at Lindsborg Community Hospital. Bethany College Swedes succeed. Bethany students lead lives of faith, learning, and service as they find their own pathways on Bethany's beautiful campus that's filled with opportunities to get involved with art, music, theater, athletics, service learning, sustainability, leadership, global citizenship, and more. Swedes succeed in their careers and their communities. Learn more at www.bethanylb.edu.
The Vikings play here.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley Football. Don Bings along with Doug Snyder. We had a little bit of technical issues. We lost our internet connection, but we're back. We'll rough it up here. It's 3rd and 8 for Rock Creek. Vetter, the quarterback, in motion comes. Martin trying to get to the outside. No, Vetter's going to keep it. No, it's not even Vetter. It's number 12, Killingsworth.
Killingsworth, yep. A couple of things going on through that stretch. First of all, there was a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty on the kickoff against Rock Creek. Even before the kick was kicked, that moved them back, and now they've had 4 plays now where they've moved the ball up about 15 yards or so. As we're looking now at a 4th and about 5.5, 6 yards. 4th and 7.
So another 4th down that they're trying to go for it on, looks like. So 4th down, Rock Creek in motion. There's a toss to Vetter trying to get outside. He's wrapped up. Now he gets away. Now he's wrapped. Now he gets away in the open. He's in midfield. Vetter trying to outrun the defenders for the Vikings, and he'll be tackled finally by Peters, but not before he gets first down yardage into Viking territory. Might be their first trip into Viking territory tonight.
Yeah, they made it to the 50-yard line earlier, but they didn't make it much further. And then really Cord Elliott got in the backfield, might have gotten in the backfield too quick because he stopped his movement to the right side there over to the far side and made him cut back quicker. Otherwise, we had great pursuit across. He was able to cut back and get a huge game there for Rock Creek.
So 1st and 10, Rock Creek. Here comes Vetter and the quarterback. Quarterback's going to keep it. Killingsworth. So he'll get maybe a yard gain on the play. Vikings leading 36-0 as they have just simply dominated Rock Creek. If you're kind of a Rock Creek fan a little bit, you're a fan of a good football team and enjoy seeing them have some success finally, but it's Vetter that you mentioned how many stats he had. He's been their go-to guy. This is their 3rd different quarterback that they've run tonight. But Vetter seems the one to be getting all the carries, and there's a motion in the middle of the line somewhere. So 5 yards mark it off against Rock Creek back to the 42-yard line. Then we'll face second down and 14.
Every time they've seemed to have a little bit of momentum, even earlier in the game, their penalties have really been kind of the bugaboo for them here, in the fact that it's moved them back, put them in a difficult spot with this run offense, the way they've got it designed. They really want to see themselves picking up 3, 4, 5 yards a carry and being able to pick up those first downs on third down and continue drives. And that's really put them in a difficult spot, because we're looking at about 2nd and 15 here.
Killingsworth, the quarterback, in that pistol formation. Now a lot of people moving. He's dropping back to pass, looking over here in the flat, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 40, Gomez, and in and out of the hands of Zach Abel. It kind of tipped, and he had a chance, a pretty rare chance to pick that one.
Yeah, I think Zach had a chance, and I think even more upset was Riley Odell, because it kind of popped up in the air back there. And I think, when you're a linebacker like that, he's probably wanted to try to keep up a little bit with Kyle tonight and get his pick six as well. But that ball was up in the air for just a little while, and nobody could find it, and it drops harmlessly to the turf.
Third down now and long for Rock Creek, and Rock Creek's going to take a timeout and talk about it. I want to take a minute and talk about our sponsors, Art Shirt, Harry Malary, Viking Auto, Scott's, R&R Excavating. Contact Mari Loader for all your Smoky Valley real estate needs. Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, C&L Heating and Cooling, Lindsberg Family Dental, Phoenix Restoration, People's Bank and Trust, Gallant Tire and Auto, Dower Welding and Machine, and Bank of Tesket for helping us with our portion of the broadcast. The Vikings' score is 36-0, and they just continue to dominate some other scores around the Rockingham Radio Network. Campus 21, Hutch 0. Smith Center up 48-0 at the half on Sacred Heart. A couple of scores there for you. As well as Doug mentioned, that score from McPherson up, was it 22-0?
Yeah, well, last score I saw, they were up 22. That was the last report I'd gotten. They were up 22 at the half. Okay, and then across the league, it looks like we've got scores here as well. Holcomb up 22-0 on Kingman. Halstead up 16-0 still on Haven. Hoisington now up 24-0 on Ellsworth. Nickerson 28-14 over Trinity. Still have not seen a score from Heston and Hillsborough tonight. Lions or Larned. And then we had the score earlier from Pratt, having them up 14-7 on Hugoton in the second.
Rock Creek facing a third down and 14 in Viking territory at the 42. Vetter going to end up with trying to get outside. Cord Elliott's got a hold of him, and now he's going to be finished off by Kai Shugren and Kyle Anderson. But Cord Elliott was the one that stopped that play back near the 45-yard line. And that's where they'll say the down 47-yard line. So it's a loss of about 8 or 9 yards on that play. But credit Cord Elliott with the first stop, and then Anderson and Shugren on the tackle.
Yeah, and the penalty moved them back. Yeah. And from that point on, they really stopped the drive.
Martin back to punt. High wobbly kick. Abel signaling fair catch and makes it at the 20-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10. It wasn't a 3 and out, but they did get a running stats here. And the Vikings look forward to senior night, the last regular season home game next week against the Chapman Irish, who started the night at 1-4. They are playing Clay Center tonight. So Clay Center with a 4-2 record. You would expect Clay Center to take care of business, but here the Vikings have taken care of business way better than I thought they would.
Yeah, and along those lines tonight, what a great job running by the Vikings. Kyle Anderson, 19 carries, 121 yards and a touch. Cord Elliott, 10 carries, 44 and a touch. And Tim Lambert, 7, 31 yards and 1 touchdown as well.
Wishbone formation, 2nd and 9. Heitschmidt calling his own number. Heitschmidt's got first down yardage at the 45, just short of the 45-yard line, but just enough to get that first down. So a 7-yard carry by Heitschmidt on that one. He's called his own number a few times.
And a reminder, don't miss the RE/MAX Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show tonight from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from the area, and other wraps from other Rockingham media stations. That's the RE/MAX Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL.
First back through Cord Elliott. This time he gets stopped, but finally lunges forward for 2 yards. That was just individual effort by Court Elliott after the tackle. Slow to get up. That big number 72, the guys whose name we can't pronounce. We apologize for that, but it's just such a crazy name. Allen. I'd call him Allen.
It's a delightfully looking name. Let's put it that way. I mean, yeah. I look at it and I try to think that through.
Wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. We'll get to that here in a moment. Here comes the second back through Lambert. He'll get swarmed under, no gain on the play. Spell it out for our listeners out there.
We've got Bojorquez. Bojorquez.
Something like that.
Trying to get anyway, our statistician to help us
Allen's
out,
doing a good job
out either. So.
Allen's doing a good job.
There's no pronunciation guide next to it to help us out either. So.
I remember a guy from played for, I believe it was St. Mary's back when I was doing the Bethany games, and it was along with about 6 different syllables. He said, just call me Jay. So we'll just call him
Allen.
Bojo. Wishbone formation. Heitschmidt looking back to pass. He's got receiver Lambert and catches it in bounds and then steps out of bounds, but he's short of the first down. Lambert with the catch. He'll get about 4, maybe 5 on the play down to the 46-yard line of Rock Creek. So we need a yard more, so it's 4th down and 1. This drive started back at the Vikings' 20-yard line, so that's already put together a 34-yard drive. They need 1 more yard to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, and Timmy knew he was near the sideline, wanted to make sure he got his feet down and in, but like you said, came up about a yard shy.
Wishbone formation, Anderson and Lambert, the 2 tailbacks. Elliott, the fullback. Elliott, no, it's Anderson, and he's running hard. He's still on his feet inside the 40 and down to the 37-yard line for first down yardage.
Bahorix.
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
helpful.
Thank you.
Trying to do our best there to get that name right, because he has definitely been involved in a lot of plays for Rock Creek tonight and has just done a wonderful job there in the middle anchoring that defense. But the Viking offense continues to roll as we pick up the first down.
And he's on his feet. He doesn't go down in a stance like you say. He created a fumble.
Did.
Or not a fumble. Vikings, Court Elliott held on to the ball, but he has just been a man among boys in the front, and usually a nose tackle. Most of those guys go down in a 3-point, 4-point stance, but he's been playing upright and just been doing a great job. So my hat's off to his effort tonight.
And like you said, he's a good-sized nose, and he was back there before our center even got the ball completely out. I mean, he's dicing through there so quickly. So he moves quickly. He does a nice job for them up front.
2nd down and 10 for the Vikings at the 37-yard line of Rock Creek. Here's a toss, trying to get Lambert outside. He's looking for a sweep, trying to get a knife and in. Going to get down to the 35-yard line, so he'll gain 2 on the play. He was just looking for that little sliver to knife through there, and he never found that little opening. So 3rd down and long for the Vikings. Probably the first time all night that they've faced a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, our offense has been clicking so well that we've been able to move the ball down the field and have gotten about 5 yards per every carry or every play we've run. So it'll be interesting here with 3rd and 9 and 8:40 left and us up 36-0, whether or not you make the decision here to put the ball in the air or whether you make the decision that you're already expecting to run 2 plays here and try to pick up the first down on 4th if you don't get it here.
I formation for the Vikings. Brett Heitschmidt back to pass over there in the flat. Caught. Abel, I believe it is, and it's first down yardage near the red zone. It is Zach Abel on the catch. He just went over there and kind of made a little out-stop pattern so he wouldn't go out of bounds, and Heitschmidt hit him right between the 2 and the 0.
It was almost a back shoulder pass. You know, the defender seemed to be between him and the ball, but Zach kind of took a step back, like you mentioned. He threw it to the back shoulder and right along the Rock Creek sideline. Zach makes a great catch and is able to get up the field for about another 4 or 5 yards.
It's nearly the 20 to the 20 so far on this drive, almost 60 yards. If the Vikings can enter the red zone and enter the end zone one more time. Heitschmidt hands it off to Elliott. Elliott's inside the red zone. Elliott churning. Elliott down to the 5-yard line. Court Elliott with a host of Mustang tacklers with him. He just runs with his knees so high they can't get that second leg evidently, and he's a wrestler and he's strong on his legs, and he just carried those tacklers with him.
Yeah, Court does take the Vikings into the Next Tech Wireless Red Zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless.
Court Elliott, what a strong run he did, and the Vikings must be letting the clock run down to call a timeout. Inside the red zone, 1st and goal with 7:24 and counting, and the Vikings will spend their timeout. We will step aside as well. 36-0 Vikings looking to add some more. Back after this timeout.
As an active person, whether on the playing field or a morning bike ride, an injury can stop you. Quick treatment from Salina Ortho can lead to quick recovery. Don't allow an injury to keep you from the active life you enjoy. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Improve your yield with A-Series soybeans from DuPont Pioneer. Available through Phelps Seed, your hometown Pioneer seed specialist. Using accelerated yield technology, A-Series beans deliver 2.3 more bushels per acre than the competition. Phelps Seed and Pioneer, with you from the word go.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where again tomorrow afternoon 1:30 kickoff for the the Bethany Swede homecoming against the Sterling Warriors, coached by Tim Lambert's brother Chuck Lambert. His other brother Andy Lambert, who was a coach over at Sterling for a long time, is now down in Oklahoma City at Southern Nazarene University, SNU it goes by. So we'll be seeing his brother coach here tomorrow night. We hope his brother, or tomorrow afternoon, we hope his brother doesn't have the success that Tim is having here tonight. 1st and goal for the Vikings, wishbone formation for Brett Heitschmidt. Well, they're charging in there quickly. Here comes Heitschmidt carrying his own number, trying to get to the end zone. He'll get inside the 5-yard line. Well, they're shooting some gaps now. They're trying to stop this Viking drive here, see if they can get the ball back.
Yeah, prior to that last play, the Vikings had amassed 313 yards of total offense tonight to only 116 for Rock Creek. And, of course, the Vikings doing that on 55 plays, only 29 tonight on the offensive side for Rock Creek. So pretty total domination there on the offensive side for Smoky.
Lambert, Anderson, the tailbacks behind Court Elliott, who is behind Brett Heitschmidt in that wishbone formation. Here comes Anderson trying to get through. He'll be short. Good play in there by Rock Creek. That tackle by number 19 on the play, Churchman. Churchman on the tackle for Rock Creek. They're just blitzing those linebackers, shooting the gap here. And they are dominating right now. They're slipping by the Viking line, who's been doing such a tremendous job of opening holes. So we'll see what Coach Lambert decides to. Well, he's got some. Here comes Wampler and Grossland back in, so they've had some JV linemen in there. Not that that's a bad deal, but I missed them substituting in. They must have substituted at the quarter. So a couple of starters back in there. We noticed it wasn't quite as sharp blocking. Here comes Court Elliott. No, Heitschmidt on the option, and read well by Rock Creek, making that tackle out there. I think it's number 8 on the tackle, Golden. He followed that flow, and timeout now called by Rock Creek. So Rock Creek calling a timeout. Is it 4th down, or is it turn?
It'll be 4th.
I thought it was 4th down. So we'll keep this one right here again. Thanking Archer, Harry Malary, Viking Auto, Scott's R&R Excavating. Contact Mari Loader for your Smoky Valley real estate needs. Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic. CNL Heating and Cooling. Lindsberg Family Dental. Phoenix Restoration, People's Bank and Trust, Gallant Tire and Auto, Dower Welding and Machine, and Bank of Tescott. Again, the parade tomorrow, one of the feature events every year in and year out, starts at 10 o'clock. And then they clear the streets and put up the bleachers, and they'll have more dancing on the stage downtown. That starts right after the parade is over. And congratulations to King and Queen Chester and Jeanette Peterson of rural Lindsborg and their families. They were featured guests today at the Hillings Fest Smorgasbord, which was the 6:30 setting. So congratulations to the Peterson family. They've got several kids that are grandkids that are on that cross-country team. You talk about all the success that the cross-country team has, but they've got several grandkids on that high school and middle school cross-country team. So best wishes to them in their regional tournament next week. We'll be on the air next Friday night. Vikings will close out their last game of the regular season at home against Chapman before heading to Clay Center to finish up the regular season. 4th down and goal from the 4-yard line. No, the 7-yard line now. I forgot they lost some on that one. Heitschmidt rolling out over in the flat. Jacob Adams got away. Great effort there, and breaking up the play was number 3 for it's Hayes for Rock Creek. Jacob, I thought he went to the ground with the ball, but they wrestled with it. They both kind of had their hands on it, and he was able to wrestle it away. Vikings do not get in the end zone.
That was a 16-play drive for the Vikings there, and they traveled all the way, I think, from our own 20. Is that right, Donnie? So 16 plays. We took over that with 1:19 left in the third, so we completely finished off the third quarter and took over half of the fourth. And, I know we'd like to get in, but we'll certainly take that drive, pushing them deep. First play out of the gate here, it looks like number 12 or number 1 there, Vetter coming up the middle, or number 12, I'm sorry, it's Killingsworth coming up in the middle there, and tackle made on the play. Again, putting some new numbers in there. Brady Weber looks like he came out of there with that tackle, number 39.
We got Lambert and Schrag as the safeties. We got Carson Winholt still at the corner as the safety. We got Peters over there on the far side as the safety. Zion Thomas is one of the linebackers. Riley Odell still in there, though, on that part. Snap, and looks like a run on this side, trying to get outside is Vetter. Vetter still on his feet. Great tackle in there by, is that Carson Winholt?
Carson Winholt.
Yep.
Really reading that play. He kind of staggered with him a little bit, pushed him to the edge, and did a great job with a leg tackle there, making a play. I mentioned Brady Weber in there as well as number 51, Hunter Noller. Sorry, who's 51 for us? Archuleta in there on the line as well.
They've replaced all the defensive linemen. And
I don't know if it's all of them. I think you see Conrad still in there. I think Conrad's still on the line.
I can't tell you for sure. 12, Killingsworth is the quarterback, looking to pass out in the flat to Vetter. Almost intercepted by Lane Schrag. He led Vetter and got it over his head too much, and Lane had an angle on it and looked like he was going to be able to reel it in, but incomplete it goes, and Rock Creek is faced with a 4th down, and looks like Martin's going to go back to punt from in his goal end zone.
That's a play there, and you and I talked, and we may have lost connection earlier, but you mentioned their heads hanging a little bit. Not a night that Rock Creek expected, but on that particular play, that ball was about 2 or 3 yards ahead of Vetter, and he pulled up on it expecting a pretty good shot. I think if it's a 6 or 8 point game, he goes after that ball.
Punt is away. Nobody back for the Vikings. It's going to land at near midfield and cross down to the 45, get down to the 40-yard line, and to the 39 is where the Vikings will take over. 1st and 10, leading 36-0 with 4:01 left to go in this one. And the Vikings, it's just been a total domination of football here by Smoky Valley.
Yeah, what a great job, both offensively and defensively. We talked when the game opened about the uniqueness of the way they had very small or very minor splits there in their offensive line, the deception that they like to use, Rock Creek, with their offense. We've really not ever been challenged. They've crossed the 50 maybe once or twice, but otherwise the defense has really played well.
I formation behind Heitschmidt. I was looking for Schrag to come in there. Here comes Kyle Anderson running hard up the middle. He'll get a pickup of about 3 yards. Comes Archuleta in for one of the offensive linemen now. Kai Shugan will get replaced by Archuleta. Maybe one by one they'll replace some of the starters here with 3:45 left to go in the 4th quarter, and the Vikings leading 36-0. Again, the Remax Advantage Realtor Scoreboard Show coming up after the conclusion of this game. Also coming in is Matt Adams, replacing Grosslin on the front line. Under 10 seconds for the play clock. Wishbone formation behind Heitschmidt. Turns and hands it off to Riley Odell. He's churning, trying to get to midfield. Got to get just across the midfield stripe to get that first down, and he's just short. Also coming in is number 45, Dax Hopp, getting a chance to come in. He's replacing Blake Hebel. Somebody came in for Jacob Adams. Jacob Adams coming out. It's nice to see all these guys getting a chance to get in and do some good. Vikings letting the play clock run down inside 10 before they break the huddle. Heitschmidt directing this wishbone formation offense. Here comes Riley Odell. He'll get the first down across the 50 down to the 48-yard line. So first down, Smoky Valley. Move the chains once again. 2:31 now left to go in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, like we said, it's just been one of those games where the Viking offense has been amazing as Lane Schrog enters now, taking over for Brett Heitschmidt, and Kyle Anderson comes out of the game. What a great night for those two guys, and all of that offense and defense tonight, just playing so well.
So Schrog under center with that wishbone formation behind him, handing off to Lambert. That'll be a combination that'll be used a lot next year. But this year we still got a lot of football left to play. Vikings won the district last year and hosted Nickerson, beat Nickerson, went on the road to Pratt before getting upended by eventual champion Pratt. Now here comes a whole host of linemen. 72, 76. 72 is Grant Lysel Alkire. 76, was that what I said?
Yep.
Ethan Osterman. Who else came in?
I saw 53 there. Is that Hunter Trossel maybe that went into the game on the line as well? Zion Thomas checking in now for Blake Hebel. We'll try to see if we can catch some other ones there for you as well.
And the Vikings will call timeout as the play clock, everybody getting adjusted to where they needed to be. We'll keep this one right here. Also, Raleigh Wilson in there as a fullback. Let's see if we can get some of the numbers. Number 54 checked in, Wyatt Reed. Did you mention him or not?
I did not.
So Wyatt Reed in there. And they're just not going to take an actual timeout, so I'm glad we did not step away. They called Rock Creek back over to the side, back over to the field. So the Vikings hustling out to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 9 for Smoky Valley. Schrog under center. Turns and hands it off to Wilson. Raleigh Wilson chugging up the middle across the 45 down to the 44-yard line. He'll pick up 3 more. It'll be third down and 5 for the Vikings now with a minute 15 and counting left. Smoky Valley is going to improve to 6-1 on the year. We'll face Chapman coming in either 1 or 2 losses. I would expect them to not win. I don't know if they played Clay Center at home or away. I didn't look at that matchup, but Chapman Irish have been a foe for several years of the Vikings. Schrog's going to keep it himself, trying to get outside. He'll get wrestled down at the 45-yard line, so he'll actually lose a yard on the play with 40 seconds now remaining. So it's fourth down and 6 at the 40. The Vikings on Hildings Fest weekend are going to come up with a big district win here. They'll have to snap the ball or they'll take a penalty. They go down all the way to 1 second. See if Lane can manage the clock that well. If he goes down to 1 second and it takes 5 or 6 seconds to run the play, the game will expire. Trying to get way down to the play clock. Lane under center. Turns and hands it off to Wilson. Wilson chugging. Wilson going hard and strong, and Wilson's got the first down. And there is no time left. That is the final play of the game. And the Vikings win it by the score of 36-0. We'll be back to wrap this one up and also have you the Salina Ortho Player of the Game after this timeout.
Boyd Accounting provides professional accounting services in the Lindsborg area. Call them today at 227-2589 for all your accounting needs. Wishing the best of luck to the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC. Direct Access Physical Therapy is available at Lindsborg Community Hospital. Direct Access means you can schedule an appointment for PT without a doctor's order. Sports rehab, post-joint replacement, back pain. Schedule an appointment for evaluation and treatment. Mark, Robin, Nikki, and Derek will get you on your way to better health and activity. Call 785-227-3308 and ask for physical therapy at Lindsborg Community Hospital.
First Bank Kansas is a proud sponsor of Smoky Valley football. First Bank Kansas is your community-oriented, customer-focused bank where banking is made personal with locations in Lindsborg, Salina, and McPherson.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from across the country have in common? They all purchase custom-etched glassware at glassdecorators.com. EmsloyGlassDecorators.com have been providing carefully etched glass for nearly 30 years. An effective tool for company branding, etched glasses are also perfect for school and civic groups, special occasions, and that one-of-a-kind gift they won't find anywhere else. Emsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley athletics since 1984.
This is the Bank of Tesket postgame show. Coming up, the Salina Ortho Player of the Game, scores from around the area, final stats, and an interview with the coach. This is Smoky Valley Vikings football on 95.5 The Rock.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings dominated the Rock Creek Mustangs with a 36-0 score. This is the Bank of Tesket postgame show, Generations of Confidence, Relationships for Life, member FDIC, the Bank of Tesket. And joining us now is Coach James Henderson of the Vikings, and wow, almost 8-minute drive to open up the game. That had to deflate the Mustangs, and our front five on offense and our front four on defense just dominated the middle of that football field.
Yeah, we got some guys that are pretty talented in there. And do what they're taught to do. Our offensive line, that was a naughty scheme to deal with some of the things that they were trying to do. I don't know how sound what they were trying to do was.
Yeah.
But you got a nose guard standing up, running and shifting and
gapping,
and a defensive end trying to cut our tackle all the time. And I thought that once we kind of got adjusted there. And then just our physicality was very good tonight. We were much more physical than our opponent, and that made a world of difference. So our kids are played the game tonight the way we coach them to play and expect them to play. So, but the difference always will be what happens up front when we're playing.
Yeah. So up front is huge, and then penalty-wise is huge. We just didn't have any penalties. We had that big first drive, and then a couple more drives, and we just dominated. They kind of lost their cool a little bit, and they got worn down. You just up front wore them down.
Yeah, we did. And we knew, there's a point in every game where one team breaks, and we could start to see that. And after we scored our third touchdown, and then when Kyle picked it, the pick six, they were done. I mean, they had enough.
And we want to compliment Carson. We think it was Carson Winholtz that got that block. Kyle stepped in front of that ball and took it down, and somebody got a block about the 35-yard line.
It was Carson. In fact, I told Coach McClure to give him a kiss, and he did. on his helmet.
But he did. He got there. He stayed with that block. Kyle read the block, slowed down a little bit, and then he just had a streak right down the middle. But a great total defensive effort. You had some schemes with the splits so narrow and so much confusion in the backfield. You had some way to read what they were doing well.
Yeah, we did. We had some good keys, and our kids did that. We had to adjust just a teeny bit, and just little things. We tackled really well tonight. Yeah. I'll tell you what, number one usually goes for a long one against somebody, and he's just a sophomore. They're in our district the next 2 years. We have to deal with him some more. I will say this: their starting quarterback did not play at all, and he's a real running threat too. So they only had the one guy as a threat instead of two. So it would have been a little bit different to handle them with 15 playing also.
Well, we know we dominated well, and you don't want to get too high on any one victory. You got the Chapman Irish coming here for the final regular season home game. I don't suppose you know a lot about Chapman, but their record not good so far. But you obviously don't take anybody lightly.
No, we don't. They're doing some things different offensively. They've been in the flex bone, and we've seen a lot of flex bone teams the last few years. So that makes me feel a little bit better. We'll have to see how they run it and what their little tweaks to it are. But, great to be in the district and be 1-0 now. We got a brand new season, really. And
Absolutely.
To be 1-0 and to have played really well tonight, I'm sure we'll find some areas that we need to improve in. And we need to get ready for that Nickerson game. We need to keep this momentum and our mindset where it is. Today is a little bit scary for coaches with the guys not having class. A lot of them involved with things downtown, and I thought our kids were really focused and ready to play tonight again. So,
congratulations to you. You're coaching the whole coaching staff, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, well, those offensive linemen we keep bragging about. Coach Elliott does a great job with them. A great job. So some props to Coach Elliott for doing such a great job with them.
No question about that. We compliment them a lot during the broadcast.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you, James.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Yep. Vikings with a 36-0 victory here tonight at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field, where the Vikings improved to 6-1 on the year. Doug, you got some stats, or is he going to give it to Jason? Let him read them off.
It looks like I'm on again. So, what a great night. We talked about the dominance there early, during one of the timeouts. But Rock Creek tonight finishes with 118 yards of total offense with 32 plays. They got 29 yards passing tonight on 3 of 8. We had Austin DeWeese 2 for 3 tonight for 27 yards. Charlie Killingsworth 1 for 3 for 2 yards. And then Taylor Vetter was 0 for 2. And, of course, he threw the pick 6 to Kyle Anderson. Receiving-wise tonight, Vetter was their leading receiver. He caught 2 balls for 27 yards. Nate Williams, 1 grab for 2 yards, and that wraps that up for them. Rushing the football tonight, they ran the ball 24 times for only 89 yards, so they don't even break the century mark there. Leading rusher tonight, Taylor Vetter. He is a very talented young player as a sophomore, like Coach said, stepping in tonight and having to play the quarterback role for the night tonight with their starting quarterback out. He had 15 carries, 53 yards. Trey Martin, 3 carries for 21 yards. Charlie Killingsworth, 5 carries for 12 yards. And Austin DeWeese, 1 carry for 3 yards. They were 1 for 9 on third down conversions tonight. That's 11%. And they were 2 for 4 on fourth down conversions tonight, including 1 fake punt early in the game that got them up to about the 50-yard line. One of the only times in the first half they made it to the 50 or beyond. They also had 7 penalties tonight for 60 yards. And most of those penalties happening at times that really hurt drives where it looked like they were moving the ball down the field. They also punted tonight 3 times for an average of 38.7, and I believe their punter tonight was Trey Martin as well. So not a bad job punting the ball tonight on their behalf. Defensively, Tucker Gert ends with 11 tackles, 8 of those solo tackles. Caden Churchman, 9 tackles, 8 of those solo tackles. Trevor Henning, 8 tackles, 4 solo. Skylar Forge had 4.5. Mac Hayes, 4. Alan, I had that name. Borka's, I'm going to mess it up again.
Alan.
And he had 4 tackles tonight. Did a great job, though, moving people around. Nick Gomez, 3.5. Logan Street, 2.5. Josh Feldkamp, 2. Carter Carlson, 2. Trey Martin, 2. And a host with 1 or 1.5. Total time of possession tonight for Rock Creek. They only had the ball for 15 minutes and 46 seconds on the night, compared to 32 minutes and 14 seconds of domination by the Smoky Valley offense, who finishes the night with 66 plays, 337 yards. 53 yards through the air on 4 of 7 passing by Brett Heitschmidt, also 1 touchdown. Those passing yards tonight, Jacob Adams, 1 grab for 19, almost had another catch late in the game. Zion Thomas, 1 grab, 15 yards. He had the touchdown deep in the corner in the first half. Zach Abel, 1 grab for 14, and Tim Lambert, 1 catch for 5 yards. It was again on the ground, 59 carries for the Vikings, 284 yards, averaging 4.8 yards per carry, led tonight by Kyle Anderson, 22 carries, 135 yards, with an average of 6.1 and 1 touchdown. Court Elliott, next in line, 13 carries, 62 yards. He had a 4.8 average. He also scored. Tim Lambert, 11 carries, 32 yards, averaged about 3 yards a carry. He had 1 score as well. Riley Odell, 6 for 27. Brett Heitschmidt, 4 for 17. Raleigh Wilson coming in late, 2 for 12, and Lane Schrog had 1 carry for -1 yards. The Vikings did not punt on the evening tonight. Everything moving forward, and probably the coolest out of the night, 1 penalty for 5 yards, and that was 1 motion penalty on the Vikings there, and that was it. Otherwise, 26 first down for the Vikings compared to 6 for Rock Creek. 21 first downs on the ground for the Vikings and 3 passing, as well as 2 first downs via the penalty. We were 8 for 13 on third down conversions and 4 for 5 on fourth down conversions. Our tacklers tonight, Conrad Peterson leading us with 4.5 tackles, including 2 solo tackles. Kyle Anderson, 3.5. Riley Odell, 3.5, and of course Kyle has the 1 pick 6 as well. Andrew Peters got in on 3 tackles. Blake Hebel, 2.5. Tim Lambert, 2. Court Elliott, 2. Lane Schrog, 2. Kai Shugren, Ethan Wampler, Carson Windholz, each with 1.5, and Zach Abel, Josh DeAndrea, Jacob Adams, Brady Weber, and Raleigh Wilson all getting in on the tackles tonight as well. So I think that probably leads us, Don, to our Salina Ortho Player of the Game tonight, sponsored by Salina Ortho. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm still giving it to Kyle Anderson. He just played so well. He had that pick 6. He had so many yards, 22 carries, 135 yards. He just played a complete game, and I wish we had a stat for yards after contact, because all in all, the whole team would get a lot of yards after contact. But to me, Kyle Anderson just dominated tonight. And again, we'd like to, as we heard Coach Henderson say, the up front guys, the 5 on offense, the 4 on defense, just played they just dominated the line of scrimmage. And you commented on one of how easy the 2-point conversion was, or the touchdown was for Court Elliott, because everybody was in the end zone already. He just pushed them back. Everybody pushed everybody back. So that makes it easy for our running backs when the linemen do so good. But Kyle Anderson is this Salina Ortho Player of the Game in my book.
When your first contact is 3 to 5 yards down the field, you're already going downhill. And how many times tonight did we see the tackler get pushed backwards by our runner? And we talked about that with our strength, the fact that our linemen do such a great job setting that up, but then our running backs do such a great job punishing whoever steps up trying to make that block. There was the one time down here where Kyle carried 4 or 5 and maybe even 6 guys for an extra 5 to 10 yards there. And those are the plays, and Court did that tonight as well. And of course, we always know Riley is doing that every time he runs through there. So what a great stock or stable of running backs you have to bring to the table. But also, I think those guys will be the first ones to tell you that line is doing one heck of a job for them.
The scoring summary went like this. The Vikings took the first opening kickoff in 15 plays, 76 yards, drove Kyle Anderson, culminating that drive in an 8-yard touchdown run with 4:08 left to go. A 2-point conversion by Elliott is good, and it's 8-0. Then the Vikings, after holding Rock Creek on a 4th down for the second time, they got it on 1 4th down, but didn't get it on the second time. They drove 52 yards. That drive capped at the 5:54 mark by a 1-yard Court Elliott run. The 2-point conversion was no good. Then the Vikings again kicked off, and Rock Creek with 3 and out. Got the ball back to the Vikings, and 10 plays, 63 yards later, that drive culminated in a 15-yard pass from Heitschmidt to Zion Thomas. The 2-point conversion run by Elliott was good, and with just 40 seconds left, it was 22-0 before halftime. But then the big play of the first half happened. It was a lateral pass from DeWeese to Vetter. Vetter then looked downfield, but he didn't see Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson stepped in front of the ball at the 35-yard line, raced down the sideline, got a key block from Carson Windholz, and 65 yards later, with 2.9 seconds to go, he crossed the goal line, and the Vikings had a 28-0 lead. The 2-point conversion was no good, and that was our score at halftime. The Vikings then added a couple of scores in the third quarter, an 8-yard Tim Lambert run. 2-point conversion by Odell was good at the 6:26 mark. And then the Vikings put together, I guess they didn't score on that last drive. They had it 4th and goal from the 1-yard line, and from the 7-yard line, they got held out of it. It was a 16-play drive that didn't score, but then Rock Creek couldn't get anything going either, and our game ended with the score of 36-0. So the Vikings improved to 6-1, face Chapman Irish next Friday night here at Anderson Stadium, and look to move to 2-0 in the district next week. But what a great game.
Yeah, it was a great game all the way across the board, and I think Coach Henderson alluded to the fact, and I was going to ask him that question, but he already answered it. Our kids have adjusted very well as the games have opened. Coach Lambert mentioned on the pregame show, when you asked him what kind of offense, spread, tight, what do they do? And he just said, well, they do a lot of things that are creative.
And they did.
And I think our guys responded to that right out of the gate. We saw pretty much their 3 or 4 bread and butter plays, and we adjusted to them very well after that first drive. It looked like there for a minute this game was going to be us traveling 80 yards for a score and them doing the same thing coming back, because they were moving it very effectively for their first 5 or 6 plays. And then all of a sudden the defense stiffened. We were able to take care of business, and things, kind of went Smoky's way the rest of the way. So, again, a great night here. Great Hillingsfest weekend. It'll be even better tomorrow night if Bethany can get a win here as well on this field. So we'll see what happens. Got any scores there you want to share?
I got some finals here. I think you maybe have some more, too. El Saline defeated Republic County 27-8. Our score, Rock Creek, didn't score on the Vikings. Vikings win at 36-0. You've got some others?
Yeah, Andale beats Buhler tonight 17-6. We knew that would be a really good ball game. Mays was up. You already mentioned the Mays score, I think. Mays was up 32-0 on Central. Mac, we had 22-0 at the half over Hayes. We hadn't seen another score since. Derby was up big on South, 53-14 in the fourth. Hoisington 30-0 over Ellsworth. Nickerson 56-29 over Trinity. Halstead 16-0 over Haven. Pratt 42-14 over Hugoton, Larned 46-0 over Lyons, and Holcomb 36-0 over Kingman. So those are some of the scores I had for the evening as well.
I had one more final. Smith Center 72, Sacred Heart 0. So I know Sacred Heart is having a little tough year, but Smith Center, year in and year out, coached by Bethany grad Darren Sass, so he has a Bethany connection too, and they certainly have everything put together once again at Smith Center. Our final here tonight, again, 36-0, the Vikings win. And we move on to host the Chapman Irish next week. For Jared back at the station, for Doug, this is Don wishing everybody a very pleasant good night. Good luck to the Bethany Swedes tomorrow afternoon at their homecoming at 1:30. Take care, everyone, and good night.